Is it sane? Is it possible? Still I ask myself, are we, am I? Our game, it's not logical, but you contemplate, are we, am I?
We. Bienvenue à la gare, mes amis. Bonjour, mes amis. Bonsoir, mes amis. Steve Dangle ici. Bienvenue, the SDBN YouTube channel. This is it. This is it. This is it. The Unforeseeable Train series reaches match numéro 7. Game 7. This is for all the Saint Hubert. Habs lineup. Let's not waste any friggin' time. Caulfield, Suzuki, Slivkovsky. Newhook, Evans, Demidov, Buluk, Kapanen and Doc. So according to what's listed, Kapanen moving to third line center, Doc moving over to the wing. Joe Veleno not in there. Texier, Dano, Anderson. You got Matheson, Carrier, Hudson, Dobson, Jack-Eye, Gooley, Dobish, Fowler. Dobish obviously being your starter for the Canadiens de Montréal. And for the hosts, Buffalo Sabres, Benson, Norris, Thompson, Doan, McLeod, Tuck, Zucker, Hellenis, Quinn, Greenway, Krebs, Malenstein, Dalene, Samuelson, Byram Power, Metza, Timmins, Luukkonen, and net. Why would you change much of anything about your lineup if you won 8-3 in game 6? Francois Lebel says, click like, so do it! Do it! Click like! Have a coffee, Justin, says Henderson. Have a coffee, Justin! Jesse, stop spamming the chat! Pull UPL now. Sorry, Jesse, I work for ESPN and I don't know who the hell you're talking about. Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen. No, you spam. No, you spam. Get on the GOAT train. Choo-choo. I am pumped. This could be the most entertaining Game 7 in a while. Or the Habs will get 9 shots again. But when they got 9 shots last time, that was all they needed. Doug Allen is singing the anthem. Is this the usual anthem singer? I'm not sure about the controversy going on in Buffalo with the anthem singers. People get protective. And they should. It's kind of dry. Doug Allen is a former anthem singer, and they brought him back just for Game 7. So is he doing both of them? I guess we will find out. Who is winning tonight? Oh, Logan Prescott. Merci beaucoup. Gifting 5 SDPN memberships. Gracias, amigo. For thee. He was their singer for almost 20 years, and he stepped away during COVID. And they're bringing him back just for tonight for both anthems. I kind of love that. He looks like he's getting teary-eyed. If Habs win, Celine Dion has to sing the anthems, says Power Pat. Yes, Drew. I'm not repeating that. Should the Sabres wear the red and black? If it's what the fans want, it's what I want. But also, here's a problem that the Sabres have that not many teams have, but a few teams have. Color scheme is important to what you are as a sports franchise, right? You can change your jersey. You can even change your logo. The color pattern matters. That bothered me about the Canucks when I was younger. Like, I never knew they were blue and green. I was too young. They were black, red, and yellow. And then they were like navy and maroon. Well, they got Rob Ray taking off his shirts and giving away JFG shirts, and he's got no rhythm, this man. He's banging the drum. Anyway, the goat head jersey is friggin' awesome. But you're blue and gold. They're embracing what they are, which is blue and gold. Would I fight Rob Ray now that he's old? Still no. That guy tanked a puck to the forehead a year or two ago like it was nothing. Doug the Leaf fan, SDP VIP, ad free. Welcome. Celine Dion sings the anthems for Habs Vegas final. Now that's crazy. Go Habs go, says Magic Mudkips. And the puck is about to be dropped, and it is. Whoa, that kind of came out of nowhere. The Habs win the initial face-off of Game 7. It's a long battle from here. The Habs' first mission in this game, don't get scored on in the opening minutes, which has been a problem. Habs get it deep. Luukkonen plays it. All the way down the ice. And this is going to be icing against the Sabres. Insider J Money. Habs look terrible tonight. Shut up. Francois Labelle couldn't watch Saturday. I had a charity event. 12 hours of board games. What a shock when I got to the car. For tonight, I found my old Reebok Habs jersey. First time wearing it in a while. Choo choo. Want to ask this before the game starts, but what happened to the SDPN TV streams you had? It was a cool idea / thing you were doing. I don't know the answer to that. I know Jesse does, and I know we don't do things without a reason. Very close to too many men for the Sabres, but it'll be offside against the Montreal Canadiens. We're a tiny company, and as a tiny company, we're going to try things, and then we might stop, and then we might go back to it. They are chanting Dobish loud in Buffalo. Gone are the days of opposing teams chanting in Buffalo. Sabres fans are back in the building. Slav Suzuki well offside. And that's already the third whistle of the game. 56 minutes in. A lot of early goals they're showing on the broadcast. Who's scoring first? Give me Doc. Weird feeling about Doc. Give me Kirby Doc. There's a stop by Luukkonen and another whistle here, a minute 2 into the game. Steve Dangle here on the SDPN YouTube channel. Click like, click subscribe, tell your friends. You're going to want to click the link in the description, by the way, because tonight's giveaway is a doozy. You're going to want to click it, especially if you're a Sabres fan. Off the draw, Carrier fakes, shoots. It bounces through. Luukkonen steers it wide. Anderson had an abysmal Game 6, looking to make up for it here in Game 7. Texier. Nice hands. Texier. Behind the net, Dalene takes it away from Dano. Zucker can't quite clear. Carrier. Now it's cleared. But taken from Matheson, who falls down. I don't think they're going to call that, though. Greenway posted up in front of Dobish. Mevode says 1-0 double OT win tonight. Honestly, maybe. Gooley dumps it. Habs hold the line. Shot into traffic! And Oliver Kapanen had a chance there. His first action in quite some time in these playoffs. Fed to the point. Gooley. And that passes off target to Jack-Eye in the neutral zone. The neutral zone can't be an end, can it? Krebs in his own end to Timmins. Off the glass and down the ice. Hudson is going to play an unbelievable amount in this game. So is Dobson. That's a D pair that makes quite a bit of money. What a move by Demidov in the neutral zone. He gets it back from Newhook. Around for Evans. Hudson picks it up. He's blocked. Dobson can't hold the zone. He'll dump it. Minor Matt sent 10 SDPN memberships. Merci beaucoup. Oh, stretch pass. Tuck. Slows up. Passes. Shot from a bad angle and stopped. Evans. Whoop. Turnover. Oh, Tuck. Feeds the point. Byram. Power. Deflected. Off target. Now the Habs will get it out, and I think it goes into the Habs bench there. Wow, we went like more than 20 seconds without a whistle. That's nuts. Oliver Kapanen. Go to the net. Oh, wow. That was actually a really good save there by Luukkonen. Byram had a great feed to Tuck. And if Hudson doesn't absolutely get on his horse there, Tuck is gone. Sabres win the ozone draw. Dumped. By dumped, I mean wide. Slav gets rid of it. R. Bruce's birthday donation. Oh, bonne fête à toi. Bonne fête à toi. Habs working away in the offensive zone. Cleared by the Sabres. Tage Thompson trying to catch up to this, but it's Carrier on it first. He'll just get it deep. Norris up to Tage Thompson. Thompson smashed into by Carrier there, but it's Benson with it behind the net. Who's going to have their legacy game? Suzuki. Oh, boy. I don't know about that pass. Montreal having a real beast of a time getting out of their end. Dobish with it now. Matheson. Up the ice. Habs real slow in their approach to get out. Matheson just holding on to it. Here's Anderson. He flips it into the corner for himself. And he gets there first. Gets it to Texier. Texier. Gooley in front. They score! Philip Dano, I think, gets a piece of this. Yes, he does. Noted Alan Walsh client. 4.5 minutes into Game 7. Philip Dano makes it 1-0 pour le Canadien de Montréal. That's a great play by Anderson. Nice feed from Texier, Gooley, and it goes off the skate of Dano. I wonder if they're going to have a look at this for a kick. I don't think this is enough for a kick. I don't think it's... Yeah, and great point, Drew. A skate in the crease bites Lindy Ruff again. Last Sabres Game 7 win was 1997, says Ray Adlington. 5 SCPN memberships from Francois Labelle. Pizza Man goal. My cousin is an ER doctor in Rochester. She said they're all on call in case things get crazy in Buffalo tonight. They're not reviewing this. First of the playoffs for Philip Dano. Habs with it in their own end. It was not kicked in. We've seen players straight up boot it in, and it was counted. So that's a goal. Francois Labelle, chew friggin' chew. Oh, Gooley, nice reverse hit. Doc after it. Sabres control it. Malenstein, he's had an impact in this series. He's looking to make an impact on Lane Hudson, and he does. Got a good piece of him. But here come the Habs. Newhook. Deep for Demidov. Samuelson trying to body him off the puck. Demidov gets it back. Josh Doan gets it back. Up, McLeod. Poor pass. Intercepted. Sabres intercepted. Tuck hands it off. They're working it around. Shot from Doan is stopped by Dobish. It's in the corner, though. Dalene with it. Chase to the point. McLeod hands it off. That's Josh Doan behind the net. Dalene catching up to it. Hudson running around out there a little bit. New hook. Oh, and Lane Hudson might have a lane. Shoots. Stopped by Luukkonen. He was just one-on-one with the goalie there. Dalene kind of took away his options. He took his shot. Wasn't good enough. Suzuki in front. Caulfield stopped by Luukkonen, and there is no rebound. 13:34 to go in the first. Steve Dangle here on the SDPN YouTube channel. Click like. Click subscribe. Tell all your friends. It is a good night to be Alan Walsh. They mixed in a good start. Sedin Magic. What I tell you, man, as we go to commercial break. Hoping for a natural disasters final. Avalanche versus Hurricanes. That's actually pretty funny. First hockey I ever saw was Canes 06 Cup, but been an Avs fan since NHL hits 01. Go Avs, go. When the Habs win tonight, whoa. Should the Habs wear Blue Jays jerseys in the next round? What? Also, who do you have, Vegas or Colorado? I have Colorado, but I think it's going to be difficult. Will Kirby make parents Hickory and Dickory proud? Deep cut callback. I remember that joke from the 22 draft. Do you? I remember that joke. I remember making it 100 times, and I remember no one laughing ever. I thought it was funny, the idea of Kirby Doc having parents that were named Hickory Doc and Dickory Doc. I thought it was very funny. No one else did. Steve, are you rooting for the Sabres? I'm rooting for no one. I'm calling the games. Some people online decided to be so tremendously weird about it. Touch grass. Touch grass. Touch grass. Make general body contact with the grass. No, I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to stop. 5 SDPN memberships from Wes Richard. Merci beaucoup. Do you want 34 out? I would. Only if he wants it. Crash test fetus. Don't want to overreact, but ole. Hey. No, I didn't tell everyone the Cheka stat. Give me a second. Megan Cheka, that's what I mean by the Cheka stat, tweeted a crazy stat before tonight's game. The team that scores first is 152 and 50. That's a win percentage of 752 in 202 all-time game sevens. And that'll be icing against Montreal. They're 1-0 in these playoffs, and that was Montreal. They scored first in game 7 against Tampa. That's how they were able to only get 9 shots on goal and still win the game. Philip Dano. Face off in the Montreal Canadiens zone. Helenus loses that draw to Dano. Sabres hold the line, though. That was good from Jack Quinn, but the Habs get out anyway. Texier having a bit of trouble with it, so the Sabres collect it in their end. Dumped, and that will be covered by Dobish. A little bit of a fracas in front of the Habs net. Do you trade Willie to Philly for Michkov plus Toronto's first back? No. No. I don't hang up immediately, but no. Halaneus loses that one to Suzuki. Oh, Habs give it away. Zucker almost had a point blank chance. Zucker centers off target, held at the line. Samuelson, Zucker behind the net. Oh, imagine a Michigan in game 7 here. He tries a wraparound, doesn't work. Samuelson jumping into the fray here. Hand it off. Zucker having a great series, honestly. Carrier helps clear out his man. Habs still cannot clear this thing. Sabres are absolutely swarming here. Habs, no choice but to airmail it into the neutral zone, and it works. Dalene collects it. Hands it off. Here comes McLeod through the neutral zone with speed. Don't let him get ahead of steam. Shoots. That's a little high. Jackeye collects. Cannot get it out. Knocks his man down. Sabres stay on side. Timmins into the corner. Can Kapanen catch up to that before Power? He cannot. Power cycles it. Dobish hands it to Gooley. Gooley. Center ice and dumps it. It's at the point. There's no Hab there because they're changing. But Hudson gives it away in the neutral zone to Power. Power cannot gain the zone cleanly. Hudson to Dobson. They're going to play keep away. Dobson almost gives that away to Benson. Hudson gets out, hands it off. Suzuki dumps it. I think he wanted to carry that, but he lost control. Oh, weird bounce off the boards. Holy, Luukkonen had to be sharp. He almost got caught off guard. I think that was Slavkovsky on the backhand. It was a weak one, but it was out of nowhere. Tage gains the zone, hands it off. Solid checking from Slav. Tage centers it. Hudson's there. And the Habs get it out of the zone thanks to the delicate touch of Cole Caulfield. Metza. Dumps it. Sabres looking to center again. Almost works. They lose the zone. Great play to gain the zone. Here they come again. Greenway. Hard after it. Samuelson, Malenstein, Greenway all digging away. Matheson, Demidov, Carrier in there. Geez, they're still battling for it. It goes to the point and it leaves the zone. Rolls on its side all the way to Luukkonen. And over half the first period is done. 1-0 Montreal here in this game 7. Steve Dangle here on the SDPN YouTube channel. Click like, click subscribe. Tell all your friends. Sabres. Oh, what a chance. Jack Quinn robbed by Jakub Dobish. Wow. What a chance. He got sprung on a partial break, and Sabres fans want a hook or something. Game 7. Byram tries to get it deep. Doesn't work. Now it's Texier. Power. Can't get around the Sabres. They keep it alive, though. Texier. Gooley. Can't get it deep. Texier. Allowing Gooley to shoot it. Goes off the end boards. Hudson. He's basically not going to come off the ice. Hudson. Hands it back to Gooley. Gooley deep. Moving it around very well here. Dano. Back to Gooley. He shoots. Stopped by Luukkonen. Not by much, honestly. Hudson. Sends that into the Sabres zone, but intercepted. And this is going to be a 2-on-1. Doan gets it to Quinn. Ow! Blocked. Big hit there on Dano. Oh, boy. Habs have some tired bodies out there. And Timmins! Stop! There's a rebound! Dobish doesn't have a stick. Where's the puck? It's in the other corner. Around. Samuelson. One-timer from Tuck. Oh, it bounces off the end boards. Stopped by Dobish. And he's hit by McLeod. Dobish wants a call. 8:15 to go in the first. Corrupted says, Steve! And I say, Kyle! What a stop that was from Dobish. Doan could have had one. Great defensive play by Hudson. Oh, pretty much every single member of the Montreal Canadiens has shown themselves to be a better defensive player than I thought. Hudson, in particular. I'll throw Slav in there. He's had a couple pretty bad giveaways, but I'll throw Slav in there. Wow. Steve Dangle here on the SDPN YouTube channel. Click like. Click subscribe. Tell your friends. This has been a very exciting Game 7 so far. Jakub Dobish, after a loss, my Lord and Savior has been found. He's kind of unreal. If the Canes win the conference final, do you think it will go down as a generational choke? No. I mean, no. They'll be playing. No. Here's the thing. I don't think that's a possibility in the conference final. You head into round 1, and if the 1 seed loses to the 8 seed, that's a choke. No matter how that series goes, no matter how you win or lose, I guess no matter how you lose, that's a choke. You get to the conference final, you can only choke if you actually choke. Like if the Hurricanes were up 3-0 or 3-1 and blew it to the Habs or the Sabres. That's a choke. But like you're the favorite. Every series has a favorite. But a choke? I don't know. Dalene hammers that off the faceoff. That's a great point from Drew. Montreal is 1 shot shy of their whole shot total from Game 7 against Tampa. We are 12 minutes in. But it's the Sabres with it now. They're cycling. Benson loses that puck battle with Carrier. Can the Habs get out, though? So far, the answer is no. Caulfield and Suzuki managed to get it out. Slav stops, hands it off. I don't know about that choice. Slav helps get it back. Suzuki Caulfield. Oh, stopped again. Luukkonen. But the Sabres put it out of play, and I think this is going to be a penalty. We need to see who made these saves. Luukkonen definitely stopped the first one. That was a sick pass from Suzuki to Caulfield. But those are 2 point-blank saves. Suzuki, so good work from Slavkovsky. Suzuki out of the air. Oh! Both by Luukkonen. Unbelievable. It's funny. Dalene is like, yeah, buddy, like congratulating Luukkonen as one of the Sabres takes a penalty. Who was it? So, yeah, they're going to keep crashing the net and running Dobish tonight. He's going to have to tough through it, but hopefully the refs don't let it get out of hand. I got news for you. It's Game 7. Zach Benson sitting in the penalty box. And by the way, with 7:26 to still go in the first, the Montreal Canadiens officially have more shots in this Game 7 than they did in the entire Game 7 against Tampa. Suzuki almost creates a chance there. Sabres just dump it deep. Wow. In these playoffs, the Habs are scoring on nearly a quarter of their power plays, 23.5%. Hand it off. Here's Suzuki. Great on the entries. Not the greatest on that one, but he keeps it alive. Slavkovsky, Hudson, cross ice, Demidov, difficulty handling that one. It was a bit wild. And the Sabres block the pass and clear it. Here comes Hudson on the entry. Hands it to Demidov. Again, a little off target. Nice move from Demidov to Hudson, to Slavkovsky. Down low to Suzuki. Suzuki looking for Hudson. Finds him. Hudson. Demidov. Hudson. Demidov. Down low. Slav. Suzuki shoots. I think that might have been stopped by Luukkonen's glove again. Demidov. What a move. Over to Hudson. Back to Suzuki. 48 seconds to go in this Habs power play. Fake shot there by Hudson. Opens up a little bit of space. Suzuki. Down low to Cole Caulfield. Caulfield spins off of Timmins. Caulfield. Suzuki. Suzuki. Oh, he can't find his man. And Demidov just blows it a tire. And with under 30 seconds to go in this power play, the Habs have to re-rack. Hudson. Suzuki. Slavkovsky. Cross-ice shot. That stopped. That was Buluk. Buluk to Hudson. Hudson. On. That's blocked. Suzuki. Cross-ice. Buluk scores! Zach Buluk roofs it at the very end of the power play. And with 5:31 to go in the first, Le Canadien de Montréal take the 2-0 lead in match numéro 7 on Buffalo. Wow. What a pass. What a shot. That's disgusting from Nick Suzuki, and that is filth from Buluk. Wow. Wow. Buluk, man. Great start to the season. Kind of tapered off. I've loved his game in these playoffs. This is third. Emo Jalapeno. Wee wee. There's a whistle. Six-game point streak for Lane Hudson. All assists. 8 assists. Francois Labelle, I repeat myself. Choo, friggin' choo. Face off in the Hab zone. Dalene gets it, shoots. Oh, I thought that went in. That's directed wide by Dobson. Sabres banging, crashing. Do they get a shot? Not yet. Dalene, Byram. Dalene. What a move on Dobson. Drives. Can't get the shot off. He crashes the net. Where's the puck? Oh, boy. There's a Sabre in the net. And now there's going to be a breakaway. Alexander Texier. What a move. What a stop from Luukkonen. Wow. 2 goals allowed so far, but he's been absolutely spectacular here in Game 7 for the Sabres. 4:40 to go in the first. Helenius to Power. Holy smokes. So I get a few days off before the conference final starts. Dobish. That was unbelievable. Where did Jesse go? Who knows? Francois Labelle sent 5 STPN memberships. He almost sent 5 more. Handed to the point. Gooley. Whoop-a-day. He's given up a 2-on-1. It's Zucker. Oh, my goodness. What a play by Alexander Carrier to block the pass. Dobish, I think, was dead to rights. And that's going to be icing against the Montreal Canadiens. He did have an empty net. Dobish froze. Dobish completely froze. If you told people 100 years ago the words disgusting and filth would be used positively, they would not believe you. But Suzuki and Buluk both did it. That was disgusting and filth. Texier, that move was nasty too. That was a great stop from Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen. Remember the name. He's made 8 saves in this game, and how many of them were 10 Bell? At least 3. Habs dump it. No icing? Sabres fans are losing their mind. They think they're being jobbed in this game. Sabres trying to cycle it here. Johnny says, love that it was Benson who took the penalty. Serves him right. Should have missed the whole series. Oh, we got a Bruins fan. I was wondering what that logo was. 3:21 to go in the first. Oh, Slav. Is he going to get called for the hook? Wow. Fans are going to riot if you don't call something. Yeah, they're getting pretty upset. But here come the Sabres. Benson on. Oh, boy. That was almost deflected past Dobish by one of his own D. Carrier having a good game so far. He's all over Tage Thompson. Thompson takes it, though. Carrier stays with him. Tries to separate him from the puck with his skate. Benson into help. Buluk bullies him off the puck. Carrier. Back to Matheson. Oh, my goodness. A game of millimeters. But now here's Connor Timmins driving the slot. He hands it back. Thompson. He's blocked. Almost a breakaway for Buluk. Swatted deep by the Sabres as they retreat for a change. 2:22 to go in the first. Make a wish. And also click like. Matheson with it in his own end. Carrier dumps it. Byram with it in his own end. Quinn advancing through the neutral zone. He's knocked to the ice by Caden Gooley. Sabres stay with it. Quinn already back in the fray. Anderson can't get it out. It's an In Bergeron We Trust logo. Oh, I know what logo it is. And that is going to be icing against the Montreal Canadiens. And was that a Bronx cheer for the refs from Sabres fans, or were they just cheering for an icing? That was such a crazy play by Carrier. They just showed the replay. Big hit on Jack Quinn by Caden Gooley. Jeez, that skate getting up. Face off in the Habs end. Sabres win that very clean. Byram moving it to Dalene. Dalene on with traffic. I don't even know if that got through. Anderson gets that to the neutral zone. That's as good as he can do. Byram collects it in his own end. Up the ice. Quick pass to Doan. What a move by Doan. Can't get it across to Tuck. That would have been gross. Evans can't clear. Tuck. Dalene. Oh, he sent Hudson flying on the follow through. McLeod. Power. Deflected into the corner. Doan. McLeod. Dekes himself out. Tuck. Dekes himself out. Off the back of the net, and Hudson in the final minute here. What's he going to do? New hook! Absolutely rocked by Greenway and dumped by the Habs. Demidov tries to give it back to Greenway. Here come the Sabres. Krebs. That pass. Oh, I don't know. They called that offside. These fans are going to riot if they don't have a whistle go their way for a change. And with like 30 seconds to go in the period, we're going to get with 36.9 seconds to go in the period, we're going to get a TV timeout. Steve Dangle here on the STPN YouTube channel. Click like, click subscribe, tell your friends. Kyle, just wanted to say thank you for the holiday in Canada stream and new podcast drop today. We appreciate it. Please keep streaming the playoffs. We will not stop. That was a really fast-moving period, eh? Yeah. Holy jumping. I remember why I don't wear my jersey often. It's so warm, but I'm afraid to take it off now. It says François Labelle. Last stream, I was cold because the basement's always cold. This stream, I'm cold because the AC is on. The weather has changed dramatically. John Cook. I love my setup. I got my TV front and center muted with you playing over the Bluetooth speakers. Go Canadiens de Montréal. Merci beaucoup. John Cook. Please save me from the ESPN coverage. There goes my hero. This is absurd. Buddy, tonight we're giving away a Buffalo Sabres Fanatics authentic pro jacket and a Sabres Lululemon Everywhere belt bag. Contest closes at the end of second intermission. Link is in the description. It is a really, really, really good giveaway. I've been listening to your podcast since 2020 and watching your channel since 2013. Leafs Bruin series. Oh, that was fun. The podcast helps with my long drives. Love you, buddy. This stream is just full of people who discovered me when their team beat mine. Thompson dumps it. Carrier. An annoying amount of you laughed at that. Battle in the Habs corner. They're trying to kill the clock here. Sabres won't let them. Habs won't let them not let them. Battle in the corner. Benson might commit crimes here. They're digging at it. I'm surprised the ref is letting this go. Thompson frees it. Can't get it to Dalene. And that'll do it for the first period. Steve Dangle here on the SDPN YouTube channel. Click like, click subscribe, tell all your friends. Evan, I'd give anything to have my room at 14 Celsius. My room window faces west and has no insulation. Summers are unbearable. Oh, well, that sounds terrible. A Zamboni driver who works for you says, speaking of that, shut up. Canada Matt, feel bad, but just can't bring myself to cheer for the Habs. You can also just watch the game. It's cool. No one who's a person worth talking to is going to be like, hey, man, I don't like the way you're cheering for this game you're supposed to be a neutral in. Once again, tonight we're giving away a Buffalo Sabres Fanatics authentic pro jacket. It's sick. And a Sabres Lululemon Everywhere belt bag. Contest closes at the end of second intermission. Link in the description. Started watching and listening full time when the Leafs first went to the second round. So that was 2023. That's a few years. Man, can I tell you, something just shook me to the core. I was watching a video on the longevity and success of Dude Perfect. I'm pretty confident the vast majority of you know who Dude Perfect is, but they were talking about how Dude Perfect started in 2012, and they're like, and that's when YouTube was in its infancy. I started my YouTube channel half a decade before that. He's like, no, you don't understand. They were weird for making YouTube videos in 2012. And I'm like, brother, I started in 2007. My YouTube channel is older than Gavin McKenna. Madeline McIntosh, welcome to SDP VIP. What's Tegan from popular Canadian band Tegan and Sarah like? Tegan is lovely. Very just gosh gee willikers friendly and unbothered and loves hockey. Good banner. Just fun to talk to. I liked hanging out with Tegan. That was a real privilege. And I am privileged to have texted with her. Listen, I'm going to go to Vancouver this summer, and I might hang out with close personal friend Michael Bublé, and then also close personal friend Tegan. I might hang out with them both at once. Just me, Michael Bublé, and Tegan Quinn walking into a Starbucks. Who does Tegan cheer for? I think it's the Flames. She had an interesting upbringing, and she was explaining it all to me. Holy cow! They're showing the Bell Center watch party, and it looks completely sold out, and it's incredibly loud. I want to say she grew up in Saskatchewan. Now she's in Vancouver. I think she's a Flames fan. Here, let me just catch up with these and I'll go to break. I don't know why, but your content, it may have been Trade Trees even popped up during COVID, been here ever since. A lot of people say that. In the end, we're going to get a great Stanley Cup final combination. I agree. Hey, we're going to throw to a clip. Drew, what do you got? Colorado Avalanche, Vegas Golden Knights series preview. Enjoy.
The Colorado Avalanche taking on the Vegas Golden Knights. Oh, where have we seen this before?
Mm-hmm.
We have seen this movie, and it's worked out different ways a few different times. But listen, I am pumped for it, and I'm not pumped for what we have to do before we break down this series, which is checking in with our Spark brackets, which for me is not good. Not fucking good. Let's be honest.
Let's start with the peoples out there, because Curtis and Cedric currently lead all SDPN brackets, which is, there's a lot of them, so thousands actually, so quite impressive. They have 164 points at the top there. Curtis has Buffalo and Cedric has Colorado.
Those are my cup picks.
They have identical point totals, identical maximum possible points, different cup champs.
Yeah.
Love that.
It's going to be awesome. So, yeah, we have the OV hoodie that's limited edition worth thousands of dollars. So one of you is going to go home with that. Somebody out of the brackets, doesn't have to be Curtis or Cedric. And let's check in with what we're actually here to talk about.
No, I don't
the
like that.
SDPN brackets and where the people sit.
Why did Drew pick Vegas to win?
Because he is the worst person on earth.
Yeah.
Steve Dangle, I got to give you some credit. Your bracket did not start off too well.
But you're good now.
But your finals picks and where you are in the conference finals, you have the maximum amount of points left available out of anybody at SDPN. So the order goes for anybody listening. Drew, Steve, me, Hayden, Julian, Maddie, Chris, and then pulling up the
tied
rear,
with Chris.
Adam
I
Wild.
am tied with Chris Johnston, okay?
CJ.
I am tied with him.
CJ is out of picks. His max possible points is 58.
Yeah, I have
Julian screwed too.
I have 283. All right.
Adam does have 283 possible
Second
points
most
left.
max possible points.
That's actually crazy.
Yeah.
Given your
and I have
you're nearly 5,400th.
I have Colorado Buffalo in this series. Just throwing that out
because
there.
you have your finals picks still available, which is crazy.
Yep.
I went Edmonton, Steve went Colorado, Drew went Vegas, Hayden went Colorado, Julian went Edmonton, Maddie went Buffalo.
Hell yeah,
Chris went Edmonton, Colorado for Adam.
Edmonton for the cup, CJ. All right, now let's talk about the series, Vegas and Colorado. And listen, going into this, and I like to work our way out from the net. You would have been like Aiden Hill, Carter Hart versus the Blackwoods and the Wedgwoods. The Woods. Imagine they still had Miles Wood. There'd be too much wood on that team. I would have been like, oh, that's a wash. That's easy. Sorry, not a wash. That's it. That's easy. It's Blackwood, Wedgwood. I would take that over Carter Hart, Aiden Hill. But after having watched the Vegas Golden Knights play defense in front of Carter Hart and watching the fact that he always makes the first save and they always make sure he doesn't have to make the second one, he sure works well in John Tortorella's system, and the Ducks were loaded up front with firepower.
Buddy, this is what I said when the playoffs began. Your poor video team. You have a year's worth of info on the Vegas Golden Knights, arguably more, right? Under Bruce Cassidy.
Yeah.
And with 2 weeks to go in the season, you ball it up and throw it over your shoulder. It's not applicable anymore.
Not the same.
You have your scouting of Jack Eichel and Mark Stone, and you know what they play like roughly. But they went into the playoffs with a coach they didn't play for.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them playing positions you're not really accustomed to seeing them play, with a goalie who barely played this season.
Yep.
How the hell do you prepare? And all you have to go on now, basically, if you're the Colorado Avalanche, is what they've looked like through 2 rounds, which is pretty good.
Jesse, who would you take as your goaltending tandem if you had a choice?
It's tough because, like, I was one of the biggest Carter Hart haters in terms of his performance on the ice and off the ice, I guess, as well. But going into the playoffs, I didn't think he'd be able to hold up. And during that Anaheim Ducks series, he had like one maybe stinker, that the one they lost 4-3, where I think it's 4 goals on 19 shots. Like, that wasn't a great game, but other than that, he's been really good, and he's done everything he's needed to win this series for them. And like, I don't know, he's been really great.
He has.
Yeah.
He's been excellent. And frustratingly, if you go for defense, there is a player on the Vegas Golden Knights who played 4 games for the Toronto Maple Leafs. He's in their lineup today. His name is Ben Hutton. Ben Hutton getting time in the Western Conference Final. 5 years later, he's been with Vegas the entire time, and look at him. You got Hannafin Anderson, Theodore Coughlin, Hutton. I can never. Korczak, I think is how
Korczak. Well, and McNabb is going to get back in there.
Yeah, because he was obviously hurt. And then you've got Taze Makar. Sorry, not hurt. He hurt someone.
Yes.
Taze Makar.
Korzak's better than Ritzkovian.
Yeah, that's true.
Every time I see that, I'm like, okay, I gotta take a second. That's how I say it.
You got Taze Makar. You've got Kulak Burns. You've got Malinsky Manson. We're not sure if Malinsky's going to be healthy. But again, both of those those pretty strong team defense right there.
So here's this is the hardest series to predict because of who may or may not be in it.
Mm-hmm.
Stone.
Yeah.
That's huge. Makar is not at 100% at all.
Definitely.
When they tied the game against Minnesota, it was Brent Burns, the oldest player in the NHL.
He had a renaissance game, man. He was amazing.
There are players that are going to get drafted this year who have younger dads than Brent Burns. I'm not making that up. That is literally true.
True. Yeah.
And he was out there when the game was tied. Manson's not at 100%. Malinsky, who knows? That's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot, and it's really important guys. So anyone who's looking at it like, oh, well, Colorado's just going to run over Vegas. I don't think that's how this works.
No.
Vegas is getting healthier. You're not.
And without Malinsky and with Makar not at its best, the thing is the puck moving takes a real hit. Malinsky is a great puck mover. Oh, yeah. So that's going to be tough for them. Now on forward, both sides just killers. So Landeskog, McKinnon, Nietzsche's, Colton, Nelson, Waugh. That's how at least it laid out last game. You've got Nichushkin, Nazem Kadri, Logan O'Connor, Parker Kelly, Jack Drury, and Kivi Ranta. But you'd also want to mention that Arturi Lehkonen is day-to-day. Yes,
you.
I don't worry. Let me get it out there.
He's a very important player for them.
Barbashev, Eichel, Dorofeyev on the other side. Howden, Carlson, Marner. Killer line since Carlson's been back. Sod, Hurdle, Sissons, Cole Smith, Nick Dowd, and Keegan Coldazar. And please don't forget about Mark Stone, who is not in that lineup for Game 6. I don't even know who to pick between these two. And this is the thing.
Oh, forward group, you have to.
If this was early April, I would not even look at the roster. But the way that the Vegas Golden Knights are playing now, I'm like, these guys are smothering teams on defense.
If you wanted, you could call them both top 5, but Colorado's top 1.
It's the best.
Nathan McKinnon scoring at will.
Yep.
It's top 1.
Kadri and Waugh playing, wing and that sort of thing.
So I'm not being a hater. It's got nothing to do with Vegas. It's holy cow, they're unbelievable.
Jesse, would you give it to Colorado as well?
I'm definitely giving it to Colorado.
Okay.
I think in the series as a whole, I'm glad you got to the forward group because I think that's where I just land on. I have to just give Colorado all of their flowers on what they are so far because we might get you a chance. If this series goes the way of Colorado and it's like they run through Vegas, which is a possibility here. Colorado could be one of the most dominant playoff teams that we have in the Cap era. And their forward group, it supports it just by the names on the paper. Because they're all of their additions that they made at the trade deadline, plus all of what they've added over the last couple of years, with the Rantanen trade and bringing over all of those new assets. They are so incredibly deep. I don't see one single hole out of their 4 lines. And it's going to be a point where if they do destroy Vegas and they are averaging 4.11 goals per game in the playoffs, which is an absurd clip, this could be one of the best teams we've seen in this century of playoff hockey.
How do you deal with Tortorella's system, though? These guys play his defense so well. They're so active on the power play or when they're on the PK. They've got the best PK in the playoffs.
They do have a spectacular PK, and Colorado's power play hasn't been great during the regular season, at least throughout the entire season. But the LA series, that was a close series on the scoreboard. But if you watched all 4 of those games, Colorado never felt uncomfortable. And it's not like they need to win by scoring 9 goals and winning 9-6 against Minnesota. They can also beat you down and win a 2-1 game. So either way Vegas wants to play in this series, I feel like Colorado is going to have some sort of answer.
Yeah, Vegas's decor is going to be ridiculously important here. And I think Mitch Marner is going to be ridiculously important. Not necessarily on the offensive end. I mean, he has to produce, obviously, and he's the top playoff scorer, but the way he dillies and dallies and plays east-west, you have no hope but to slow the game down against Colorado. And Drew called the Minnesota series perfectly, and this was where I misread, because I thought Minnesota's going to try to drag Colorado into the muck. They're not going to try to go with them. Mm-hmm. And then they did.
Yeah, and
Colorado
you don't do that.
Punched a hole through their chest because what are you doing getting into a derby with that monstrous team?
Mm-hmm.
You can't do it. And I don't think Torts or anyone on Vegas is stupid enough to try. I think they're going to try to slow the series down.
Okay, well, let's get to predictions. I'll start, and I'm going to say Colorado in 7. I have so much respect for the Vegas defense. They were just unbelievable. And I know Anaheim is a different performer. I know Utah is a different performer than what Colorado is, but there's so much confidence on this Vegas team. I think Colorado ultimately will win, but I think it's going to be a real tough series. Jesse, what about you?
Give me Colorado in 5.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Even with Mark Stone and Marner and William Karlsson, all these defensive
I think
guys?
that's where I'm leaning right now.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Do I want to be Steve hates Vegas guy, or do I want to be Steve bets against Colorado twice guy? I'm going to say in 6 games, Colorado.
There it is. Now, leave us your predictions right now in the comments section. We'll see who's right at the end of this. Fingers crossed for whoever gets your pick, and maybe I can climb out of the basement on that spark bracket. That'd be nice. Hey, did you like...
Steve Dangle here on the SDPN YouTube channel. Click like. Click subscribe. Tell all your friends. Sports Talk Chud. I know you have to hate your rivals, but I can't say it wouldn't be great for the NHL if the Habs won the cup. 33 years is too long for such a great fan base. Hey! What? Hey! What? Hey! What? Hey! Okay. How about the Sabres have never won it? How about that? When was the last traditionally big market to win a cup? Pittsburgh's not big. The Kings? LA is huge. Yeah, I guess LA. How big is DC? Sorry. Okay. So here's I'll DC's 700,000 people. Yeah, that's. When was the last game in a city with over? By the way, my wife is obsessed with off campus. Apparently, Garrett, you know the character Garrett, his stunt double is Vincent Iorio, like the NHL player. Need more info on that. Anyway, second period is underway. Dalene not wasting any time. Sabres get after it and get deep. Dano around it. Samuelson. Oi! That block takes a little piece out of Dano. Shot. Dobish wasn't able to grab that, but it's behind the net. Carrier and the Habs get out of trouble. Texier waiting for his friends to join him. He cycles it. Finds Dano. Anderson is there. Pins the puck. Boston in 2011. I almost vomited typing that. No, Chicago. Your favorite wrestling match you ever saw live? I've seen a startlingly small amount of wrestling live. It was icing against the Sabres, 1909 to go in the second. I went to one of the Raw after SummerSlam. No, I didn't go to WrestleMania in Toronto. I went to one of the, it was Raw after a pay-per-view. I think it was SummerSlam. It was Kevin Owens versus Seth Rollins, and they like jumped off everything in Scotiabank Arena. That was awesome. But the real answer is any match I've ever seen of Eric Young's. Oh, okay. Justin Fisher correcting me. Yeah, I'm wrong. Kenny Omega versus Kazuchika Okada. And KO versus Seth was great. Yeah, come on. I did go to the AEW one where Kenny Omega kicked out at one out of a winged angel. Wait, that wasn't Kazuchika Okada. That was wasn't it the Aussie guy he fought? Anyway, here come the Sabres. Tage Thompson. Benson tries to stuff it in. It's in front. Dobson airmails it out. Icing against the Habs. Steve, thoughts on Finland breaking the Woll down? Yeah, Joseph Woll got pulled today, and he has those games. Tyson, to combat tanking, instead of a lottery, there is a secondary tournament of the 16 non-playoff teams. Winner gets the first overall pick. I just don't think the players would ever agree to that in a million years. If the Habs go to the conference final, I'll have 3 of the final 4. My 4th was the Ducks, Quack and Choo Choo. It was Kenny Omega versus Ospreay and Daniel Bryan versus Kazuchika Okada. All very good. Byram. Hellenus. Nice pass. Shot from Zucker. Oh, it's at the side of the net. Zucker jamming away at it. Dobish pins his toe to the post and keeps it out. Zucker's been incredible. Kenny Omega was against Will Ospreay at Forbidden Door. I was there in Toronto. So that, by the way, is where I came up with the idea for Eric Young to chop me in the chest. Because AEW, especially when they got a lot of the Japanese wrestlers coming over, just became the chop the hell out of each other fests. And while I'm watching these guys just leather each other for hours on end, I knew I was going to the draft in 2023 and I was going to go see Eric Young. And I go, hey, man, will you chop me on camera? Bare chested. And he's all right. Sure. And I saw him a week or two later. And that dude left a print on me that lasted a week. Sabres get it deep into the Hab zone. Carrier is hit hard. Benson battering in there. Norris battering in there. Sabres fans want a call, and they are finally going to get it. Is it Carrier or Evans? It looked like he called a rough. Oh, Josh Norris is bleeding. If this is a high stick, it's 4. It's a clear 4. 4 minute for high stick under review. Let's see. I don't see a high stick at all. Was it Gooley? Here, I got to rewind. Okay, I'm looking at Carrier stick. I'm looking at Gooley stick. Oh, was it Benson? The only stick that makes any sense is Benson. This is not 4 minutes for high sticking, guys. If this is a 0, the building is going to riot. No penalty. And it was Benson. Honestly, surprisingly small reaction. No, it's clearly Benson. It's Benson. There's nothing to protest. It's Benson. Freak, if you are the Minnesota Wild, do you trade Gustafsson with how good Wallstedt was? Do you try to keep the tandem together? Is Eric also EY is awesome? Yes, he is. I try to trade Gus if I can. Zango Bango, refs letting the fans call the game. These clowns. Nah, they got the right thing. They got the right thing. Habs trying to get out of their zone. They got to be weary of parking the bus too early. The Sabres erased a 2-goal lead in Game 6 a mere 48 hours ago. Hard to believe the Habs were up 2 goals in a game they lost by 5. Offside against the Sabres. You all saw that. Yep. You ever take a sip of your drink and immediately know you've burned your tongue? Yeah, that's unfortunate. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and let the steam out of that one. That hurt. Josh Norris is a hemophiliac. Jesus. Yes, true. Lindy Ruff is 0-4 in Game 7s. 3 as a coach, 1 as a player. Whoa, Doan! That's a great stop there from Dobish. Up the ice. Buluk, shot! Stop by Luukkonen. There's a rebound. Covered up by Luukkonen. He's been, honestly, he's allowed 2 goals in this game, but he's been stellar for Buffalo. He's a big reason this game is still winnable. How about Buluk, man? That's a player. If this went in, that would have been a very interesting offside review. I think it would have probably been good. It's a good stop from Luukkonen. Benson is so dirty, he has resorted to hurting his own team. Oh, there's our Bruins fan again. If the crowd wanted a penalty, 2 minutes to Benson, high stick on his teammate. You know what? Give the people what they want. They wanted a call. Power gets it out. Mallenstein battling for it in the neutral zone. Sent back into the Sabres zone. Oh, Dano thought he saved it at the line, but they call it offside. Thank God he bled so they would review the high stick. You know, you could have worded it better, but you're right. You could have worded that much better, but you're right. If the action counts and not the intention, then getting high sticked by your own guy should mean that the other team gets a power play. That is a level of difficult that I strive to. That's incredible. Kapanen loses that draw to Norris. Power. Blocked by Doc. Hickory dickory block. Hey, I'm a hemophiliac type A severe, and I LOL'd. All right. That shot from Norris is off target. I haven't heard that word, and I don't know how long, and now I've heard it way more than I care to. Habs fighting to get it out. They finally do. Timmins being chased away. Great pass to Tage Thompson. Thompson, his two teammates going to the front of the net. Thompson cycles it. Buluk along the boards. Kapanen helps get it out. They try to get it back to Kapanen. It doesn't work. Buluk banging and crashing. Hudson with the puck now. Man, Buluk is a killer. I'm very impressed with him. He's a great player. Dumped by the Habs. Where did that go? Weird bounce. And now here come the Sabres with numbers. Great back check. They're still coming. They shoot. That doesn't get through. Helenius. Quinn. Jack Quinn tries to hand it to Dalene. Does. Dalene shoots. That's off target. Helenius cycles it to no one. Habs will get it out. It's Slavkovsky. Suzuki has Buluk with him, but Bulduk's been out there forever, so he goes for a change. Ruff won a Game 7 with the Devils in 2023, says Silent Rob. As an assistant. But still. New hockey fan here. I want the Habs to go down. Canadians are elitist gatekeepers to the sport, says frickin' Brian. Okay. McLeod. Through the neutral zone. Demidov strips him. Dobson. Evans dumps it, but the Habs are offside. Samuelson. McLeod hard after. Ooh! Carrier fell feet first into the boards. Looks like he's okay. Tuck gets it to. They call it offside. That was power. Sabres fans are going to riot, dude. Tongue and roof of mouth. Timmy's mint tea equals ouch. For me, it's a ginger tea. And this Canadian Beer League Yeti is working very well. Steve Dangle here on the SDPN YouTube channel. Click like, click subscribe. Tell all your friends. Thank you, Ramu. I do have a question. When are you guys going to go over your free agency takes? Tanner Jeannot was a great pickup. Okay. Let me check your work here. Tanner Jeannot had 6 goals this year, 22 points, which, by the way, is the second most he's had in his career. I know that's not why you employ Tanner Jeannot, but Tanner Jeannot makes $3.4 million this past season, next season, the season after, the season after, the season after. With the cap going up, I think we probably overstated how bad the contract is. It's no, you're going to have a hard time convincing me it's a good contract. I think at best it's fine. Steve, you should apologize to Lindy in the Danico voice for saying he wasn't a head coach. He was a Jack Adams finalist that season, I believe. You know what, Lindy? This know-nothing podcaster owes you an apology. He knows nothing. He can't even skate. He can't even do crossovers, and that's the bottom line because Danico said so. And this takedown by Mr. On Blast is brought to you by the New Jersey State Lottery. Remember, anything can happen in Jersey. Prairie says, watching Game 7 with my daughter. Life is good. That's wholesome. And quite the palate cleanser to whatever the hell I just did. Dear Steve, as someone who follows hockey, define goaltender interference, not the rule verbatim, but how it is enforced in today's NHL. Do not move the puck and the goalie at the same time. Do not body check the goalie. And then I don't know. Who's been who's been your most impressive player from each team this playoffs? Mine's been Buluk for Montreal and Benson for Buffalo. It's been a treat to watch Zach Benson because he's admittedly heading into these playoffs was a blind spot for me. For the Habs, like I'm enjoying learning more about Lane Hudson. There's more to his game than I knew. It's more what he does on the ice, non-points wise. He actually stands up for his teammates. Oh, totally. But is that worth a 5-year contract at $3.4 million per? Listen, I know there's the Leafs, and then there's that. Like, there's got to be a middle ground there. We got a couple whistles here. Face off in the Sabres end. Habs top line out there for the ozone draw against Helenus. Habs get it back. Hudson to Slav. Slav spins. Gets it to Caulfield. Backhander is stopped by Luukkonen. He's been so sharp. Habs get back on side. To Bruins fans, yes. Okay, that's fair. Byram being chased by Caulfield. Up the ice. Turn over to Dobson. Oh, Helenos, great forecheck there. Chases the Habs back. And they dump it, which is essentially a turnover because of the forecheck of Helenus. Here comes Norris. He bodies Lane Hudson. Norris. Quinn. Benson in front. Quinn tries to pick the corner. Not quite. Hudson back up. Benson gets it to Norris. Habs reeling here. Slav can't get it out. This line's tired. Oh, baby. Norris in front. Dobson. Tage Thompson batted out of the air. That's got to be a high stick, clearly. 12:22 to go in the second, and this will just be a face-off in the Habs zone. And the Habs look exhausted. I was reading someone saying my name. This super chat is brought to you by the New Jersey State Lottery. Remember, anything can happen in Jersey. Steve Benson has a song out called I've No More F's to Give. Funny song. Should look it up. Got the idea from the pod. Let's go. $12:22 to go in the second. Habs win that draw. Matheson hard around. The Sabres are absolutely stapling the Habs to their own end. And they're saying another face-off inside the Habs zone. The Sabres, I don't know what the puck possession is, but the Sabres feel like they've had much more of the puck. Habs are out shooting them 14-12. And I don't think that's the Sabres being too picky. The Habs make you work for every shot. It's agony. Faceoffs are 16-13 for the Sabres, which is a big crack in the Habs armor because they were so dominant in the faceoff dot against Tampa. Norris versus Dano. Habs win it back. They get a lot of help from their wingers. Tage Thompson. Dalene gains the zone. Benson. Oh, Norris can't get the one-timer off. Anderson fighting. They want to hold. No hold. Dano gets it across the center ice line. Also, that impression is like 90% Jesse Ventura. Well, you know, some of us watch. Josh Anderson, breakaway, shoots. He does not score and is yard sailed into the Sabres net, and he's extremely slow to get up. Wow, what happened there? Oh, boy. Oh, I don't know if he's returning to this game. Yeah, could be his wind. He's getting up on his own. He's getting up on his own. What happened here? That play came out of nowhere. Josh Anderson, by the way, a much, much, much better game 7 than 6. Oh, God. So he misses high. Was he stopped by Luukkonen? I think he was. He tripped. I don't think it was Samuelson helping him. No, he tripped, and he just went ribs first into the post. Skating at 34.2 kilometers an hour. He'll feel that tomorrow. At least the pegs came out. You're right. Byram. Can't clear the zone. Tuck being pressured by Demidov and Dobson. Byram gets it back. Byram to Power, who has a little bit more space to Tuck and out with speed. The Sabres stopped and held on to by Dobish. That was Josh Doan holding on to it. Is it just me, or are most game 7s disappointing blowouts? The only great game 7 I can remember is Blackhawks versus Kings 2014. I think that's just you. Because, like, not every game 7 goes to overtime. So it feels like a disappointing amount of game 7s go to overtime. You know what I mean? It feels like they should all go to OT. There's probably more blowouts than you would like. For a high-stakes game 7, it feels rather uneventful so far. One of the quieter games. That's the problem with being unhinged literally every moment of every game. Is there's nowhere to go from there. But there's lots of game left. Here come the Sabres. They're breaking out with numbers. It's Hellenis. And the Habs turn him away at the blue line. Here comes Suzuki. Counterattack. Caulfield. Hand it off. Shot! Deflected. Caulfield cannot catch up to it. And here comes Jack Quinn. Hands it off to Zucker, who's been excellent in this game. Gets it around. Gooley is there. He's bumped into hard by Hellenis. Habs get out of their zone with some trepidation. Here comes Caulfield with speed. Shoots. Stopped by Luukkonen. Rebound is collected by the 4 Sabres that are there. They screw up the breakout. Timmins around to Dalene. Habs get it to the neutral zone. Dumped by Dobson. I think they might still be offside here. Dalene. Greenway. Gets out. Mallenstein. Into the corner. Greenway with it behind the net. Fired from the point. Timmins misses wide. Oh, Mallenstein! His shot is off target. Sabres. Oh, where is it? Dobish did not know where that was. I think it got stuck in his equipment as we get a whistle. Wow. Steve Dangle here on the STPN YouTube channel. Click like, click subscribe, tell all your friends. Pigeon Bass. Pigeon Bass? Pigeon. Hi, Steve. Always wondered, what's the rule for calling a penalty shot? What do you mean? Like, it's usually if the penalty happens behind the player who has the puck, the attacking player who has the puck, they have a clear path to the net. They call a penalty shot. Oh, how are we feeling about game 7, folks? Hey, if you're a Sabres fan and you're in a sour mood right now, I got great news. Tonight, we're giving away a Buffalo Sabres Fanatics Authentic Pro Jacket and a Sabres Lululemon Everywhere belt bag. Contest closes at the end of second intermission. Link in the description. Apparently, the girls are fighting on the hockey Twitter. What's that? No, I'm talking about the Darren Dreger stuff. Oh, yeah. What's going on in the PWHL? I did not mean the literal girls. It's a turn of phrase. How are we feeling? ESPN broadcast sucks, says Mr. Fluffy. Best game sevens I've watched were 2013 Leafs Bruins. Thanks. And all the 2011 Bruins ones. There were 3. Yes? Sorry. Ottawa won, so it's now 2-1 Montreal. Best of 5 for the Walter Cup. Tage Thompson taking a face-off against Jake Evans. 9:46 to go in the second. It is 2-0 for the Montreal Canadiens. The fans are going to lose their mind. Face-off. Oh, Matheson. Oh, wow. Jeez, a lot happened there. How do you even call that? Habs now break out. They screw it up. Sabres, re-rack. Thompson, they screw it up. Benson, Dalene, Justin Fisher gifted 10 SDPN memberships. You friggin' beauty. Thank you. Sabres get it deep. Dobish out of his net to play it. Hard around. Newhook gets it out. Demidov, Evans, one-on-one against Benson. Holy cow. My brain just broke. Benson in the offensive zone. Hands it off. Bowen Byram into the corner. Back to Power from McLeod. He plays it back to Benson. Back to Power. Power. There's lots of Sabres in front. McLeod shoots. Where'd that go? Wide. Byram gets it. The broadcast confirms my theory. The Sabres with 8 minutes of offensive zone possession. The Habs with less than 6. Despite the shots in this game, which are 17-13 for the Habs. Doan hands it off. Shot! Blocked! That was Tuck. Tuck gets it back. Hands it to Doan. Shot! Blocked! Rebound! Oh, what a stop from Dobish and held on to. 8:14 to go in the second. Robbery from Jakub Dobish as Dobish Spring continues deep into May 18th. Oh my gosh. JJ, welcome to STP VIP. And Johnny, if it's any solace, Rask never won a cup in Boston and cost them the 2013 cup. He won in 2011. He's a Stanley Cup champion. Yes, he was a backup, but were the shot attempts 40-something to 20-something? Did I see that out of the corner of my eye? Sabres, ozone draw. Gooley around to Caulfield into the neutral zone, looking for Slav, who cannot quite get it deep. Sabres, apparently that's not icing. 8 minutes to go in the second here. Habs cannot get it out. Zucker, he's been a pest tonight. He's been a threat tonight. Quinn, another guy who's had his legs tonight, battling for it. Quinn gets it off of Suzuki. Suzuki, deep. Where is it? Literally. Cameraman got confused. Caulfield, that's off target and out of play. Oh my God. Darren Dreger is in a Twitter fight with someone. And the other guy does not look very good in this. 7:29 to go in the second period. Dano gets kicked out of the faceoff dot. It's Texier versus Krebs. Krebs wins that clean. Malenstein, Krebs, one-on-one. Cannot get around Lane Hudson. Rang around to Metza. To Krebs. Krebs lets it go for Greenway. Greenway fights to the front of the net. Malenstein to the point. Texier, a good defensive stick, but it bounces around and the Sabres still have it. Krebs bodied into the boards by Anderson. Samuelson gets it deep. Krebs. Hard around Metza. Greenway. Malenstein tries to go in front. Oh, there's a shot! And there's a goal! Samuelson takes advantage of the chaos in front. The Sabres say, we're not locked in here with you. You're locked in here with me. Do not allow the Habs out of the zone. They bang. They crash. They fire everything but the kitchen sink at the net, and then they throw that too. Even that doesn't go in. And then finally, Samuelson, with Dobish crouched in his net, no idea where the puck is, finds a ray of light, and he puts it in. Sabres are on the board, and they're within one. Wow. 4-game point streak for Mattias Samuelson. Game 7, I remember, was 96 Detroit, St. Louis, Western Conference Final. Eisman double OT, 1-0 winner. I was 12. Hell of a game. More enjoyable Game 7 than watching a Leaf Game 7, says... Is it Renee? So I can't take my jersey off. No, you cannot. Welcome to KeyBank Center. Go Habs, go. Oh, welcome to Quebec Center. That's clever. Now they're saying Dobish. Face off at center ice. 6:40 to go in the second period. Butcher, who do you think you are? I am. Samuelson, 4th of the playoffs. Remember when he didn't score for like 100 games? Those days are gone. Oh, power stripped. Suzuki to the point. Deep. Tage Thompson in the defensive end. Buluk keeps that alive. Suzuki. Habs doing a good job stifling the breakout here, but now here come the Sabres. It's Byram. He hands it off. Wide open shot. And that is off target. That was a gorgeous chance for the Buffalo Sabres. So many people in this chat have tossed out Game 7s they loved. If only there was some easy way for a person to go back and watch them all. You were here last time, weren't you? Tuck! He's blocked. Habs, get out. Demidov can't catch up to that one. It's Dalene to Tuck, who rings it around the boards. That went off Greenway's butt. Oh, you think it was Greenway's goal? Maybe. Newhook keeps this onside. Evans, hard around for Demidov, but it's bouncing, so he lets it go to the point. Fired in deep. Evans behind the net. Demidov, half wall. Back to Evans behind the net. He's got Josh Doan on him. Back to the point. Handled precariously by Gooley. Demidov and Newhook battling for it. Dalene is in there. Samuelson is in there. Who wants it? It's a berth to the Eastern Conference Final on the line. Hard around from McLeod. Dobson. Dalene is dumped in front of the net by Newhook. They were going at each other all shift. Ref saying play on. Evans up the ice. It's Caulfield. He shoots. Luukkonen squeezes the 5-hole for the save. 4:31 to go in the second. Sedin Magic says time for the Habs to take the bus out of park. Rayner, how many free agents are on these two teams at the end of the playoffs? Ooh. Not a ton. I think a lot of these guys are they're gonna make their money. Both of these teams should want to keep their teams together. Steve Dangle here on the SCPN YouTube channel. Click like, click subscribe, tell all your friends. Let's see. That's better. It's hot. It's hot. It's better. Oh, you gotta do some lunges. You gotta, when you sit too much, you gotta remember to activate those glutes. Also doubles as a hammy stretch. Shout out to my trainer, Chad. Shout out to Chad. Shout out to Bowmanville in general. Oh, there you go. Steve Dangle here on the STPN YouTube channel. Oh, I feel great after that. Click like, click subscribe, tell your friends. The NHL website still has it as Matthias Samuelson's goal. So I'm not sure that went off of anyone. We'll see. When I'm sad, I go back and watch your Game 7 videos to cheer me up. Thanks. Which one? 2013, 2018, 2019, or 2024? Frig off. You're a jerk. I don't care for that. Video maker, my Game 7 was the Jets coming back with 1.6 seconds left. I watched that live. That was friggin' insane. Habs win the ozone draw. Can they hold the zone? They cannot. 4:24 to go in the second. We'll get another face-off here. Has anyone mentioned the 2019 Sharks versus Vegas Game 7 where the Sharks came back after 3-0 down with a 5-minute major and a goal in overtime? Was that the hand pass game? No, wasn't that St. Louis, San Jose? I think that was St. Louis, San Jose. This is Cody Eakin gets a 5-minute major for, like, it was a really bad injury to Joe Pavelski. I just don't, if I remember correctly, he didn't really do anything. I gotta watch it. Yeah, but it was like, anyway. Sabres fighting to tie this game here. They're in the offensive zone, but the Habs have the puck. Carrier. Under 4 minutes to go in the second. Still a lot of hockey to play. Oh, Drew saying if the Habs let them tie it, they're going to lose this game. Ooh. The broadcast. Oh, you know what? That does hit Greenway in the pants. That hits Greenway in the pants. That definitely hit him. 3:40 to go in the second. Would you qualify Doc at $4 million? He's been useful in these playoffs. Would have said no before, but now you gave up a lot for that player, and $4 million is not all that much anymore. Yeah, I qualify him at 4. Yeah, especially Montreal. Like, you're not even really paying anyone. Hudson, I guess. But even that contract's friggin' ridiculous. Suzuki's is friggin' ridiculous. Anderson dumps it. That contract's not the greatest, but he's played well tonight. Shut up, Drusifer. That's a good one. Sabres, wide open chance. Oh, it bounces over Helenos' stick. That kid has a nose for the net, man. He is always there, and he is always open. Dobson, up the ice. Is that going to be icing? Dalene said it should have been, but it wasn't. The fans are going to tear this building apart. Quinn dumps it into the corner. My Game 7 will always be Minnesota beating Colorado in 2011. Had to watch that game after the Avs stomped us to feel better. Deep in the Sabres zone now. Malenstein helps get it out to Greenway. Greenway to Samuelson. Lethal offensive duo, apparently. Krebs shoots. That's stopped by Dobis through traffic. 2:30 to go in the second now. Sabres still with it. Greenway. That shot is off target. Evans. Hard around. Carrier. Off the boards and out. Demidov. Wow. He just wanted to get it deep. The puck landed at his feet. Malenstein. Racing Hudson. Fighting him off the puck. Timmins. Stripped. Habs getting out. Slavkovsky handles it. Drives. Shoots. That shot is off target. Hudson. That's stopped by Luukkonen. Caulfield. Slav. That goes around. Hudson keeps it alive. Sabres steal it. And away they go. Here's McLeod. Hands it off to Tuck. Tuck. Behind the Habs net now. Dalene. Hard around. Doan wasn't ready for it. He holds the zone, though. Sabres still active. Doan! That shot is off target. Behind the net. Doan. To Power. To Dalene. Dalene shoots. That's deflected wide. Oh, boy, the Sabres feel inevitable here. They feel inevitable here. Can the Habs survive this? There's some tired legs out there. Power in the corner. Tuck! Stop by Dobish! Rebound! Oh, what a move by Caulfield to get it out. He hit that out of midair. Dalene. Doan, the Sabres relentless. Tuck! Finds McLeod! Stopped by Dobish. Never really does get the shot off. 48.8 seconds to go in the second. McLeod saying, oh, I was punched in the face by Slav. Not hard enough to get called in Game 7. Drew has put a stat on the screen. The Canadiens are 12-0 all time in Game 7s when leading by multiple goals. That is a crazy stat. Turns out an agent as GM is good at contracts. Turns out. Did you see the Finland-USA game? Woll was a star. Yeah, I know the Finns are really happy about that one. Sorry, I'm just trying to catch up here. My Game 7 is Canucks Blackhawks in 2011. Canucks needed OT to avoid what would have been the biggest collapse in probably all of sports. It would have been very embarrassing, but it didn't happen. Crazy OT winner. Norris. Oh! Oh my goodness, rebound! How isn't the puck in the back of the net right now? And we get a whistle. How on earth didn't the Sabres just tie it? There were 3 Habs down in the blue paint. How? 31.7 seconds to go in the second. Benson's beside himself right now. None of the Habs know how that stayed out. Norris, cross ice. What a stop by Dobish. Oh my goodness, I think Carrier saved a goal. So it's a great save by Dobish. And then the rebound, the goalie cam doesn't even really pick it up. Carrier saved like 2 goals tonight. Ah! You know what? It's Carrier and the tie-up from Gooley. And the Gooley eats an elbow to the face from Tage Thompson. That was bad, right? You caught that, eh? Face off. They're going to redo it. You do got to eat that elbow. Oh, I'm a Leaf fan. I know a thing or two about eating elbows in Game 7. JVR took like a spinning back fist in 2013. So stupid. Habs win that draw. Oh, yeah, Stallers. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Which elbow in a game in the playoffs? Frig off. Anyway, 21 seconds to go in the second. Sabres. It has been all Sabres for quite some time here. But they're still looking for a goal to tie it. Here's Thompson. Gains the zone. Are they onside? We'll find out. Stopped by Dobish. In front! Sabres! Oh, Norris can't. Thompson fighting to get it to the front of the net. He does. Can anyone get a shot off? They cannot. The Sabres get one back. But they are still one back. Second intermission. Oh my God, what a save from Dobish on Norris. As we head to second intermission, it is 2 for Montreal, 1 for Buffalo. Can Buffalo tie this thing? And can we get just a little bit more of the unforeseeable train series? Steve Dangle here on the SDPN YouTube channel. Click like, click subscribe, tell all your friends. I don't watch your Game 7s to make me feel better. I watch your Game 5s. Sincerely, a Blue Jackets fan. F you. My Game 7 was the Stanley Cup Final in 2017, Nashville versus Pitt. Oh, wait, we got jobbed out of the open net by Sissons in Game 6 that cost us the game and a chance at the Cup. Girthy Bettman, my Game 7 is when I was holding my pee during a road trip and we found a random gas station in the middle of nowhere. It was a buzzer beater. That's great, man. Johnny, you guys were talking about how to cut down on shootouts, and I have an idea. You can't go past the red line once you come in zone. And if you do, it's delay a game, sort of like backcourt rule in the NBA. I understand what you're saying, but Giggling Cat. Okay, last game I was late and Sabres scored immediately. What's happening tonight? Wait, OMFG. How did that not go in? I don't know. I don't know. Carol Ray Ohm. We got to remember to breathe. In 2, 3, 4. Out 2, 3, 4. That works. Unsqueezing a little, just a little. Post-loss Stobish is insane. He's like every bit as good as Halak, but only post-loss. Post-win, he's like regular good. Hey, I'm going to remind you that you are loved. I'm also going to remind you tonight we're giving away a Buffalo Sabres Fanatics Authentic Pro jacket and a Sabres Lululemon Everywhere belt bag. Contest closes at the end of second intermission. Link in the description and in the chat. You have a chance to enter until the end of second intermission. Now, here's the bad news. It's currently second intermission. So you better friggin' do your thing. Drew, do we have a clip? This is us talking about World Cup jerseys and World Cup condoms from our latest episode of STP VIP. If you become an STP VIP, then you get to check out this wonderful premium content. And last thing before we go, Dan Patrick, Habs lose, for the love of God, Habs lose. We'll see. Drew, let's play that clip.
So
you used to be that guy.
Let's throw the first one up there, Jesse.
New Jersey. We're good to go.
Oh my God, it looks like a Soprano shirt.
That's a New Jersey jersey. And it's got the World Cup, and it looks, well, it's New York, New Jersey, right? It's a little bit of both. Mm-hmm. You see the Big Apple there. You see the torch that Lady Liberty is carrying, right? And it says FIFA New York, New Jersey on the back. So it's sort of funny. This is like wearing a referee like stripes to the game. I'm not cheering for any team in particular, but here's my city.
You're Rob Lowe.
You're Rob Lowe.
Sitting at the Super Bowl
Go
wearing
NFL.
an NFL hat saying, go teams.
Woke this mode.
All right. Do you have a...
Yeah, which one do you want next? We'll go
whatever one you want.
We'll go Kansas City next.
Oh my God, these all stink.
It's Kansas City.
So this is a...
Wait, is that one good?
There's sunflowers on it. There's a trumpet, I'm assuming, for some jazz. And it says FIFA Kansas City on the back.
I can't decide if this is good or the St. Louis Blues jersey that Mike Keenan refused to wear.
It's a collage, that's for sure. Less noticeable international things on it too. Like, I mean, New York and New Jersey are New York and New Jersey.
Oh my God, I realized what these remind me of.
What?
The Dan Flashes skit from I Think You Should Leave.
Okay, now.
The complicated patterns. Look at them.
Now here's Seattle with the whale tail and the mountain in the background.
Why isn't the tail on the back? That's where tails go.
It kind of looks like
stupid.
For a man, if you were to put that on, it does kind of look like you're wearing a bit of like a bustier over your t-shirt. You know, remember that was the style for a while? You wear a little boost.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like it will highlight your boobies.
Guys, these are not good.
And then the next one, which is my favorite, is Boston.
Oh no!
It's the ugliest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Oh my holy loving Lord! What is that bullshit?
I would get this ironically. I would wear it because it's so ridiculous looking.
So for those of you listening, the entire shirt is a lobster.
Yeah.
I kind of want it.
And a little sea monster. There's a little sea monster. Somebody kayaking.
And the back is just other colors.
Is that not the is there not like a bridge with that? Is that the Boston? Is there like a Boston bridge there
I don't
that
know.
they're showing? Anyway, that's the Boston jersey. It's the ugliest one. There's no question. Boston got done dirty.
You can smell that shirt.
See, I would wear this and then go eat like lobster legs or something. You know, I'd go to like a fish restaurant with this on because it'd be a bit.
Now,
I would buy this and then go to a company meeting the next day and fall asleep on the couch because I'm so tired from shopping at Dan Flash's. Oh my God!
it's if you're listening to this, I want you to imagine that Ed Hardy's back in style again,
Or could just Google them.
or Affliction.
Yeah, and look them up.
But like
This
Ed
is
Hardy,
the soccer version
Ed
of an
Hardy's
Affliction shirt.
Ed Hardy's run by your grandmother. Ed Hardy is run by someone who hangs decorative plates on the wall.
Mm-hmm. So what they've done is why these shirts look so bad is because they have posters for every World Cup cities. And they've taken just the poster and put it on the shirt without any extra art design. It's just a printed version of the poster on the shirt instead of like designing a shirt for each city. They went the complete laziest route because they are FIFA and they are cheap idiots.
That's the ugliest shirt I've ever seen. That's a piece of shit.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
Can you imagine walking around Boston and just getting
you get
ridiculed
beaten up in Boston wearing that.
and
I
called
think.
names?
I think you wear it as a bit though.
Yeah, maybe if you're funny.
You
And
better have
Bostonians
funny
are funny.
friends.
It's a funny lobster restaurant.
Nobody, honestly, it's so frustrating as a Toronto fan because Boston chirps are amazing.
Yes.
I was saying on last night on the stream, there's two cities that like when they chirp you, you're like, fuck, that was good. Philly and Boston. Unbelievable. New York too.
I saw two people yell at each other in Boston, and I just said to myself, I'm like, oh, that was awesome.
Yeah, it's like a podcast.
It was like a podcast.
They're amazing. So the last part of this, and the reason I wanted, Jesse, thank you for isolating those. The reason I wanted to show you this without the price is how do you feel about buying the Boston shirt or buying the New York or the Kansas City or whatever? And we will be following this because Toronto's a host city, Vancouver's a host city, Mexico City's a host city. There's plenty of Dallas is, Los Angeles is. So there's going to be plenty of other shirts like this. How do you feel? I'm not even going to make you guess. How do you feel about paying $515 for it?
I will fucking beat you up. 515 American?
Canadian.
Canadian.
So about 350, well, it'd be more than that. It'd be like close to 400 American.
That's less than my car, or sorry, that's more than my car payment.
Yes, I would imagine it's more than most people's car payments.
For a soccer kit.
Yeah.
Fist fight me in the parking lot now.
They're limited edition, Steve. Jesse.
You can
No,
get these
it's-
hands whenever you want.
It's the most
How about that?
absurdly priced thing ever. What the hell's going on here?
Listen, I know the point is to make money. I get it. But do you have to be this shameless? This is shameless.
$500 for a T-shirt.
Shameless.
That's a bad T-shirt.
Where do you wear that?
To the rich dumbass convention, I guess.
You know that scene from Happy Gilmore where Adam Sandler's like, if you ever catch me wearing that, I'll kick my own ass? Like, I would kick my own ass if I woke up in a shirt like that.
Yeah.
This is the one I'm getting you, Steve.
There's the Toronto one.
It's coming.
Limited edition.
Coming soon.
It looks better blurry than it will the final design. Can I
like
buy
the
it
colors.
with the blur? Can I buy it with the blur still intact?
What I like about
Holy-
these two is the colors that they use have nothing to do with the city.
No.
Cities have colors and stuff associated. None of these. They're all sort of
No, the New York colors on the front. Those are like the New York Liberty. Of
Yeah,
WNBA,
you're right.
Like those are their colors.
Yeah, you're right.
The
That's-
Seattle, like those are the Seattle colors.
Maybe they're just all very well. Three or four.
they're just
ocean
bad
cities.
shirts.
They're bad shirts. They're bad shirts.
$515. This is an IQ test.
Yeah,
Like so
that's a good point.
so many like soccer and sport things. I'm like, oh man, they're pricing fans out. That's No. This is so bad that it's gone through to the other side where I'm cheering for the company to rip you off, you idiots.
If you bought this, you deserve it.
Yep.
Sit in your mess.
Sit in your mess, kiss it. Sit in your muck.
Yeah, this is your own fault. Pay $515 Canadian plus tax
Oh my God.
for the world's ugliest shirt. Also, why would I want the Boston shirt?
Because you love lobsters.
Or the Kansas City
I imagine if you're from Kansas, you would. The idea being, only people from Kansas would want it.
Yeah.
Or if you're going, I wonder maybe too. It's like, oh, we're on a family trip and we're going to New York and we have to pay $50 on the subway to get to the game. $50. That's true. Real story. I wonder if it's like, well, it's a tourist item, right? Like, I'm from Europe and I'm going to buy one of these. People will buy these.
Is the World Cup bad for Toronto?
Was that?
I don't think it's that bad.
bad?
We're not hosting much for it.
We got
like 3 games, aren't we?
Is it 3?
Yeah, I think we got Canada one game, and then the other 2 Canada games are in Vancouver, and then I think we got a couple of other internet, and then we're done.
Okay, so it's not going to be like a terror on the city, and we're going to lose millions of dollars.
How many? Oh no, everybody's losing money on this for sure.
Okay, so is it bad for the city that they're hosting these games?
Canada will host 6 matches actually.
No.
Toronto, excuse me, Toronto will. So Canada, Bosnia, Herzegovina, Ghana, Panama, Germany, Ivory Coast, Panama, Croatia, Senegal, Iraq, and then one of the round of 32, and that's all we get. I think the money lost, the cities that are going to take a bath are the American cities, because we really didn't get. You can tell that the Americans were like, yeah, sure, we'll partner with Canada and Mexico, but we get all the good games, right? And they do. And I think that, yeah, we'll probably lose some money, but I think there's some cities in the States that are probably sweating this one a little bit. The idea, I guess, is that it's supposed to be a boon to the economy, but, a lot of people are just not coming. And so it's going to be, I think people will come to Canada. I think people will go to Mexico. There's a lot of questions about the States. I'm sure people will inevitably go.
Well, I wonder how many people are like, okay, I really want to go to a World Cup game. I don't want to go to the States. You know what?
Many.
I'll go to one of the Canadian ones.
Now, Jesse, we have a second World Cup thing we need to bring up.
Okay.
So keep going, Steve. Keep going.
Same thing, but Mexico. I'll go to Mexico instead.
Jesse, I think you're right. We are going to lose. We're going to lose some money.
Oh, if you don't need to be in the city, don't.
Mm-hmm. Well, it goes on for like a month, though. So it'd be pretty hard to just leave. I don't know who can.
No, but if you're some schmuck like me. When is this?
It starts in mid-June. It starts actually the first group stage game is 06-20. So that's June 20th, June 23rd, June 26th. There's also a June 12th and a June 17th.
Do the Jays have any games?
Probably.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
That's going to be something.
If Jesse still lived in Liberty Village, we just wouldn't see him for a couple months.
No.
Yeah, good thing it is not a decade ago.
Yes. Now, Jesse, what other thing World Cup do you have to bring to the show?
There was also the World Cup condoms that Toronto exclusively has.
Got it.
So, Adam, if you want to take us through each one.
We've got the in the 6 for 26 condom. We got the strings attached where it's 2 soccer cleats loving each other. There's a what a finish with a soccer ball. Oh. There's a block those shots. There's a peaches and cream. Oh, damn. Peaches and cream.
No, it's a dick emoji and a butt emoji.
Yeah, peaches and cream.
No, it's the eggplant.
I know, but it says peaches and cream. I know. And then there's the O Canada one that just has a Canadian thing on it.
Yeah.
I like the block those shots and what a finish. I think that's funny.
So 6 soccer-inspired condoms that celebrate the energy of the games while promoting sexual health are now available at Toronto Public Health Sexual.
Yeah, so you could just get these, right? Like you don't have to pay for these. They're free. I like this.
You know what?
I like this.
The what a finish is
Hilarious.
a great design. It's the soccer ball going into the net, and then it's like, what a finish. That's smart.
Yes. I'm having difficulty with additional thoughts. That is, everybody's so creative. That's my thought.
Yeah.
Everybody's so creative.
Isn't that? I don't know. I think that's great.
Yeah, what's
wrong with
happened
it?
to you?
No, it's
When did you become such a prude?
No, I'm bashful.
Oh no, people are having sex. Said guy with 2 children.
No, there's funny World Cup condoms.
And I was like, this is disgusting. I'm Catholic. I'm not supposed to be doing this.
Only for procreation. I'm so guilty. So guilty.
Hey, listen. If you collect these and hang them on your wall, just don't do it with a thumbtack. That's all I ask. All right, get a sticker. All right, put it on. and enjoy.
Moving on from the World Cup.
As Francois Labelle says, them some Uggo shirts. Yes. Steve Dangle here on the STPN YouTube channel. Click like, click subscribe, tell your friends. We're about to head into the third period of a Game 7. Isn't that the best? Answer the question I said, isn't that the best? Okay, yeah, thank you. Hey, you ever get a new puppy and then Victoria Day happens? Believe it or not, this is the second time this has happened to me. Butcher says it's crazy you could get a Game 7 ticket for $300. Could you? Tonight? Who wins the next round? Winner of this series or Canes with a prime David Ayers? I mean, those guys are undefeated. So Canes with a prime David Ayers. Just got here. How's the game been? Put it this way. If the third period is anything like the second period, the Sabres will tie this game. Luukkonen's been sharp. Dobish has been sharp. In the jungle, the mighty jungle, Lion sleeps tonight. Lion spelled Lyon. I grew up in Kentucky, where there's no hockey. The similarities between Maple Leafs Nation and the UK basketball are hilariously similar. What? You mean University of Kentucky? I was like, I don't know anything about basketball in the United Kingdom. I'm not a smart man. I try, though. I do try. Toronto World Cup poster is out as a kit preview. Oh, no. Is it bad? Low-key hope it goes to OT, so Steve says overtime. I do like saying that. I don't know why I started doing that. But it's fun. And I like it. Toronto Rock won the title tonight, says Dan Patrick. Wasn't it last night? Steve, are you more of a sourdough or dildo guy? Third period of this Game 7 is about to begin. Habs. Sabres. Shoot. Puck is dropped. Deep in the Habs zone. Son of a gun. Jake Evans. Hard around. Sourdough. I want quadruple OT. I want sourdough. Offside against the Sabres. Please start an escrow account for Leafs fans who catch strays through Super Chats. As a TO fan, I don't know what you're trying to say. And then at the end you said, but go Canada. I still can't bend this thumb properly. Steve, no, I almost read it twice. What an idiot. All right. Habs forecheck in here, which they didn't do a ton of in the second period. Habs hold the zone. Dobson, his stick shattered, or no, a Sabres stick shattered, but they're standing right at the bench, so they got it back. Here comes McLeod, gains the zone, hands it off, batted away by the stick of Nick Suzuki, who leads the Habs in ice time among forwards. Zach Benson leads the Sabres. Shot attempts 58-31 for Buffalo, so saith the broadcast. What do you think about this trade to Anaheim? Okay. I think we're going to have to wait on that one. Hellenis. Puck gets away from him a little bit. Dano trying to catch up to that. Jack Quinn fires it back to the Habs defense. Texier handling it in the neutral zone. Anderson. It's behind the net. Samuelson trying to say high stick, and they're going to call it. They're going to call it, and it's going against Philip Dano. That's a big loss for Montreal. And the Sabres with a golden opportunity to tie this game on home ice. Yeah, there's no way around that, Phil. There's no blood. And if there was blood, it wasn't enough. This is either going to be a long 2 minutes for Philip Dano or a short 2 minutes for Philip Dano. St. Louis is not happy. Power play 4 for 6 in game 6. Oh my God. Habs win that face-off and clear it. This could be it. I don't think the fans are even sitting down for this. Dalene plays it back. Here comes Tage Thompson, that galloping giraffe. Hands it to Josh Doan, who plays it around. Benson frees up a lane for Quinn. Benson. Back to the point. It's Dalene. Over to Thompson. 30 seconds gone. Thompson. Quinn! Stopped by Dobish. Dalene. Quinn keeps it alive. It's a bouncing puck, though, for Tage. And the Habs manage to clear the zone. They're going to try to waste time as the Sabres re-rack, and they'll get it down the ice as the Habs change. A lot of time off the clock there with that play. Dalene. He might not come off the ice this power play. He gains the zone all by himself, swatted into the corner. Gooley in a race with Zucker. Both men go down, and the Habs clear it. 50 seconds to go in this power play. Here's Tuck. Gains the zone himself. Speed. Hard around. Good read from Evans. And he clears. And he hands it to Newhook. Newhook carrying it. Fires it into the opposite corner to kill a couple seconds. 25 seconds to go in this precious Sabres power play. The Habs scored with only seconds to go in their power play earlier this game. McLeod, Tuck. Can't get it to McLeod. Habs fire it down the ice. 10 seconds to go on the power play. Can the Sabres at least gain the zone? Get a little possession going. Byram. Penalty is over. Sabres onside. Byram. One-timer is fanned on. Byram still battling for it. Mallenstein. Good battle in the corner. He's had a good game. He's got Dano all over him. Dobson. Dobson has been a revelation for Montreal since returning to the lineup. It took him a while to get back to his form, but he's there. Sabres re-rack. They regain the zone. Power hands it off. Shot. That's blocked into the corner. 15:50 to go in the third period. Steve Dangle here on the STPN YouTube channel. Click like, click subscribe. Tell all your friends that Game 7 is happening right now. The third period is happening right now. And the Habs clear it right now, but this is likely going to be icing against the Montreal Canadiens with 15:32 to go in the third period. Oh, baby. What do you think about this trade to Anaheim? Lohrei, Middlestat, and a 2028 Florida first to Boston for McTavish, Zellweger, or Minchukov. Wasn't Lohrei a healthy scratch in the playoffs? No, if I'm the Ducks, I don't do that. I don't believe you when you say sourdough. Philip, oh no. That's Clever. Sabres. Dalene. Shoots. Traffic. It's at the side of the net. Benson. He can't get that shot through. Dano clears it. Sorry, horrible time for lag on my end here. There you go. Hudson. 5 seconds gone in the third. Quinn. Good steal on Evans. Demidov. Good defensive play. Evans still having trouble getting out here. Helenius throws it deep. Hudson avoids the check. Matheson helping him out. Being chased by Helenius. Matheson skating it on his own. He's got Newhook. Gives it to Newhook. That's fired away there by Luukkonen. Demidov. Good stop there from Suzuki. Oh, my goodness. Moving it around. Suzuki. Matheson. Traffic in front. Off the post. Hudson. Matheson. On. Blockered away by Newhook. Suzuki. Down low for Demidov. He can't center it for Newhook. And now the Sabres attack with numbers. Helenius. He's been out there a while too. Byram. That shot is off target. Quinn. There's still so much time to go. Helenius. Byram. Block. Byram. Cross ice. Oh! Dobich just pulled it off the line, and he gets hit by Zucker, and he's selling this like a flea market. Ref says no to none of you. How's that not a penalty? Let's see the replay. Is he trying to argue that he sold it? Because I thought he sold it. They're showing a replay of the Habs chance. Oh, off the crossbar. Let's see the run. Great save from Dobich. Covers it. Oh, yeah, no, that's Zucker completely running into the head of Dobich. He might have sold it a bit, but that's exactly what happened. Steve Dangle here on the SDPN YouTube channel. Click like, click subscribe, tell all your friends. I got to catch up here. Newhook going to score shorthanded. That didn't happen. Ever hear Great Big C's Helmet Head? Great hockey song. I probably have 100 times. I wish somehow both these fan bases could advance. I know, right? I don't even have a horse in the race. Why am I so nervous? I don't know. I started watching the NHL in 1994, so I missed it. But I'd love to see any Canadian team win the cup for once. Maybe you're the curse. Have you considered that? I don't think you have. Even in Game 7, that has to be a penalty. The refs do not make it out of the building if they call that. It was well after the whistle. It was straight up. Well, from my experience, typically Atlantic Division series, you're allowed to just hit the goalie in the head. Don't know what to tell you. Power Pat. Refs got called by Bettman during intermission. Oh, here we go. Oh, you know what it is? I think I might have figured out my lag issues. Because my internet's great. I have top of the line outer space astronaut internet. You know what makes my stuff lag? And I don't usually have these windows open, but I did just now and I closed them and everything's fine. NHL.com murders your feed. Yeah, Dobich laughing at the ref there. Sabres players as dirty as their city, says Zango Bango. That's not very nice. I don't know about sold it, but all goalies have that. I'll be fine. I just need to be dramatic first attitude. That's valid. That's valid. Sabres hold the zone. Tuck. That shot is off target, and that's out of play. 13:39 to go in the third period. Habs don't have a shot here in this third period. 3-0 for the Sabres. Oh, that goes off of the butt end of Dobich's stick. Third period. Game 7. This is what it's all about. Purple People Eaters of the less iconic cities of the United States. What? One of the... I don't know what you mean. Power drives. Shot. Scores. The captain, Rasmus Dalene, roofs it with 13:33 to go in the third. The Sabres have tied it in the third period of Game 7 in Buffalo. The roof comes off the place. Strap it back on because we got a brand new Game 7. Brand new Game 7. Was that guy drinking a Smirnoff Ice out of the sword? Sabres tie it. Dalene sneaks in there. He's been so good, and it's tied. Wes Richard sent 5 SDPN memberships. Giggling Cat says, goal! 5-game point streak for Dalene. Samuelson sends it all the way down. I don't think this will be icing, though. 4th of the playoffs for Dalene. Tie game. Giddy up. Poo-poo. This is Francois Labelle. Merde. Dalene. No goalie interference, and they score. Chloe is mad. Caulfield to Slav. Shot! Oh, that went high. I think that might have hit the post. Power Pat says paid refs. Headshot not called, leading to 5-on-5 instead of 5-on-4. Then Dobish not 100%, and it's a goal. Refs are not even hiding it. Drew, maybe the Leafs not making the playoffs this year is good for me. I remember feeling the way Pat does right now. Yeah, every fan base, we go through it. Tabernax is Madnoid. Is it possible for both teams to lose? Refs hand the game to the Sabres. NHL hates Canada. Oh, boy. People are upset. Dobson around to Hudson. Quinn taken down. Dobson gets it to the neutral zone. It's Texier. Over to Hudson. Stops up. Looking for help. Dobson on through traffic. That's blocked. Dobson catches up to the rebound. Dobson cross ice to Dano. Dano shot deflected. Luukkonen stops it. Helenius as the Sabres break out. Zucker. Helenius shoots. Stopped by Dobish. Habs really got to unpark the bus here. Texier, great job to get it out into the neutral zone. It's Dano. Tired legs, though. Dano goes to Luukkonen and gets the face-off. That was a good thing for Dano to do. Reed Miller says, please stop the conspiracy nonsense. Give me Eichel versus Buffalo Cup final. I finished watching any Netflix recommendations? I'm not saying the title of that film. Dobish didn't do the thing you always say players should do when getting hit. Should have stayed down longer and then not gotten up right away. I don't think it would have worked because it's Game 7, but yeah, you're right. Demidov centered it for Evans, not able to get the shot off. Montreal still no shots in this period, nearly halfway through. Sabres get it deep. Dobish out of the net, high off the glass. McLeod receives it calmly at the blue line. Timmins shot, stopped by Dobish, straight to Jake Evans, but the Sabres keep it alive. Oh, baby. Samuelson taken down. No call. That's 100% a call earlier this series. Timmins hands it off. McLeod. Demidov all over him. McLeod. Stolen by Demidov. Evans. Buffalo's not getting a power. No, we're not getting a penalty for the rest of this game unless it's puck over the glass. You think they're giving the Habs a power play at some point? For the missed call? Matheson ragging the puck a little bit here. Habs have been hemmed in for like 20 minutes. You're not wrong. But I remember saying that last game 7 too. Unrelated, do you think the Preds hold on to notice promising young coach Andrew Brunette? Great shout. Battle behind the Habs net. Suzuki plays it back to Matheson. Dobson to Suzuki. Suzuki tries to get it to Matheson. Matheson gloves it down. Dobson down low. Slav shoots. Where's the rebound? It's covered up by Luukkonen. Caulfield was sniffing. 10-16 to go in the third period. I don't see why NHL should hate Canada. Don't we bankroll this? There's not enough time to address all that. Come on, Steve. You know when Sam Bennett does it, it's always an accident. He was his teammate. Oh, his elbow just got here. Francois Labelle, Murder Bot on Apple TV is great. Never heard of it. Ozone draw for the Habs. We got a tied game here in Game 7. Steve Dangle on the SDPN YouTube channel. Click like, click subscribe, tell your friends. Sabres clear it to the neutral zone. They might turn this into something here. Malenstein, that's knocked behind the Habs net. Sabres trying to center. It's Krebs. Krebs back to the point. On! Stopped by Dobish. They poked it loose long after the whistle had gone and they score. Malenstein saying that's a goal. Oh, baby. As Lindy Ruff likes to say, no goal. I don't think you're going to be able to challenge this. Oh, I heard a whistle. I heard a whistle. Drew didn't hear the whistle. I heard a whistle. Even if the whistle hadn't gone, I don't think this would count. No, he shanked him. The puck is not loose. I don't think the puck is loose, which is why the whistle went. And we go to TV timeout here. Dan Patrick, is it just me or does UPL lose his net more than Mrazek? UPL doesn't even lose his net more than Dobish. Dobish is a wild goalie. It went right through. It did not. It did not. Like, Drew, would that, if that were to be reviewed, Buffalo just got robbed. A lot of people disagree. And then and Buffalo just got robbed, and then the next comment is no way that's a goal. Wait, do you mean no way that's a goal or no way that's a goal? Jammed through. You're not allowed to move his pad. Yeah, it was frozen. I don't think that was a goal. But you better hope the Sabres win this game, because we don't need Lindy going off again. Carey Price knows exactly what Dobish is going through. Yeah. No way, comma, that's a goal? Makeup call. You can't just, okay. Awarding a penalty is a lot different than taking away a goal. I don't think you can make that a makeup call. Mick no cups ever. Actually, wait, I can just do it myself. We're going to put user in timeout for 24 hours. We don't do that here. We don't do that here. We get a whistle. 9:47 to go in the third. Honestly, you should have got more than that. We don't do that. If I had a nickel for every time I watched you watch you stream a playoff game where a goalie gets beamed in the head with no penalty, I'd be part way to another super chat. Or where a Canadian team blows a lead in a game 7. I play the hits, baby. That's true. The Habs have never blown a multi-goal lead in a Game 7 in franchise history. They're 12-0. That was a stat from earlier tonight. Dalene hard around. Loud refuse suck chant in Buffalo. Demidov. Evans! That's stopped. Habs can't hold the zone. Evans fighting to keep it in the neutral zone. Gets it across to Newhook. Newhook. It's going to ring it around for Evans. Evans tries to go to the front to Demidov. Demidov. Oh, Newhook! Scored the game winner in the Tampa series. That goes wide. Gooley tries to center. It doesn't work. He pinched, and now the Sabres. Josh Norris, I don't think, realizes what he has. He's at the end of his shift, and the Habs were back. That's good coverage there from Montreal. That could have been very dangerous. Hudson going to lead the rush here. Gains center and dumps it into the corner for Doc. Sabres get out easily. Tuck dumps it. He says, Hudson, you handle it. Tuck gets it back off him. To the point, it's Byram. Byram, little head fake. Byram drives. Byram shoots. That is off target and out of play. 8:23 to go in the third. Sabres now out shooting Montreal 30-20. It can't be a makeup call. It was never a goal, says Francois Labelle. I personally don't think it would have ever ended a goal. Like, if it was called a goal on the ice, like if there was no whistle and they had to review it, I don't think it ends up counting. It was frozen. Dano versus Hellenis. Dano wins it back. Matheson gets it out. Timmins cross ice to Power. Power. Quinn gets it deep. Dano bodied. Hard battle in front. Hellenis stopped by Dobish. Wow, that came out of nowhere. This kid's awesome. Consta Hellenis. Jeez, Dobish comes off the post a little bit too. Ooh. Five goals, 9 points in 11 playoff games for Hellenis in the AHL. Holy. Flipped into the neutral zone. Dano is stripped. Good defensive play from Texier. I've been kind of surprised by like his defensive instincts. He plays well in a depth role. How many times have you shouted Byram shoots? That's off target this game. Can this guy hit the net? Well, the Habs do block a lot, man. Suzuki centers it. Can't get it to Caulfield. Hudson. Dobson. Suzuki back to Hudson. On! That's deflected and stopped. Slavkovsky trying to steal the puck. Caulfield being checked hard. Suzuki. Someone just lost their stick. I think it's Connor Timmins. Comes loose. Oh, boy, that stick just hammered into the neutral zone. Malenstein bodies Lane Hudson, but Hudson gets up and gets right back into the fray. Krebs gets it to the point. Samuelson on through traffic. Oh, that didn't miss by much. Caulfield battling Byram. Hudson gets it out into the neutral zone. He needs some help there from Slav. Habs get the puck, and they need to change. Why isn't Thompson pressuring here? The whole Habs team was changing except for Hudson. Here comes Newhook. Newhook. Fans on it. Newhook. Oh, puts that into the corner. That would have been another circus goal. Deflected wide and held onto by Luukkonen with 6:16 to go in the third. Will the first overtime game of this series be now? Oh, baby. Habs seem gassed, says Mr. Fluffy. Unless they were playing the Leafs, then that's a goal every time. Oh, yeah. Whoever is the winner of this series will get a lifetime opportunity of getting swept by Carolina. I don't think so. IMO, the no goal call, was closer to being goal than goalie interference. No call was being a good no call. No call was for... Okay. Face off in the Sabres end. Sabres win that. Power. Gets it out. Demidov has it. I think he's offside. The Sabres fans agree. Doesn't matter. The Sabres clear anyway. Dobson. 6 minutes to go in the third period. Steve Dangle here on the SDPN YouTube channel. Click like. Click subscribe. Tell all your friends. Click and like is free, easy, and it helps out the channel a whole big bunch. Sabres swat the Habs away. Gooley dumps it. Power. Gets it around to Byram, who bobbles it. Anderson gets it to Texier. Fourth line for the Habs here. Texier. Dano. Dano gets away from his men. Dano. Oh, he couldn't find Anderson. He was wide open there. Gets it to the point. It's Matheson. Cycles it. Anderson battling Byram. Carrier joins the fray. Tuck. Now the Sabres get out, and it's with speed. It's McLeod. He's got speed to burn as the Sabres change. Here they come. It's Dalene. 1-on-5. Stopped by Dobish. Dan Patrick says Carolina 12-0 on to Cup final. How dare you? How dare you? TV timeout with 5:05 to go in the third period. Steve Dangle here on the SDPN YouTube channel. Click like, click subscribe, tell your friends. 5,100 people in the chat. To get to 2,500 likes and you get 100 gifted subs from Giggling Cat, because that's all YouTube will let me drop in a day. Do it. Get to 2,500 likes. What are we at now? Let's get her going. Merkel John, a Canadian team will win the cup when the Oilers give their GOAT, Ryan Smith, their Sundin Sedin job. Ooh. It's actually kind of an interesting idea. You think Vegas has a chance to upset the Avs? Yeah, of course. I picked the Habs. The Avs. Avs. But yeah, of course Vegas has a chance. They're Vegas. 2,500 likes. Steve goes tarps off. You will not. Only 1,200 more likes. That's nothing. Get there. Alex Tuck has 0 points and is -9 in the series. Is it? He wants 10.5 million. Licksta. Remember how the SDPN crew realized their wild over Colorado picks were overthinking it? Any rationale you can come up with for either of these teams over Carolina is overthinking it, Steve. Yeah, but you're all saying a sweep. Would I pick Carolina over these teams? Probably, yeah. 4 games? Lord, this feels like the Olympic final all over. This is Madeline McIntosh. Keep in mind, I predicted correctly our Hurricane sweep over Philly. SDPN doing internships again, resume burning. Not currently, but like it's not something we're ruling out. Zach Benson battling Alexander Carrier behind the Habs net under 5 minutes to go in a tied third period in a Game 7 in Buffalo between the Sabres and the Habs. Norris gets it to the point. Dalene stick shatters. Thompson shoves it in front. No one there. Slaff rushing it into the neutral zone. Suzuki dumps it. Slavkovsky battling Samuelson. Caulfield swatted away. Oh, Suzuki into the corner. And now here comes Quinn again. Quinn gains the zone, tries to go through Dobson and Hudson. Doesn't work. He's taken down. The fans want a call. You're never going to get that in a Game 7. 4:15 to go in the third. Byram swats that down with his hand. Caulfield battling him. Power takes it. He's got Suzuki on him. He's going to be pincered by Suzuki and Caulfield, but he manages to get it to Byram. Byram leading the breakout. Passes it into the neutral zone. Sabres escape 3 wide. Quinn spins. Great defensive stick from Demidov, who now leads the rush for the Montreal Canadiens 3-2. Demidov, cross ice, can't find Evans. Evans has it now. Shovels it back, but Hellenius intercepts and dumps it as they go off for a change. We've got a derby. Carrier, gain center, dumps it. Timmins and Demidov battling. Timmins gets it to his man, McLeod. And Doan fumble it a bit. Habs retrieve it in the neutral zone. These Habs need to change, and the Sabres know it. Doan flips it into the corner. Demidov, he's got to find a way to get this puck deep. He gets it deep enough for a change, and that'll do. Here comes Tuck. Hands it off, Dalene, and that shot is deflected into the stands. 3:01 to go in the third period. Steve Dangle here on the SDPN YouTube channel. Click like, click subscribe, tell all your friends. What's with the blue flashing light behind Martin St. Louis? I don't know. Habs fan, need the conductor hat, Steve, for the unforeseeable train series. You know what? This is for both teams because you're both the unforeseeable train. Keith Pelly could not have seen either of you coming. Need Sabres fans to understand it's Game 7. The purge is on. Smash that like button. Anderson catches up to it. Oh, swatted out of the crease by Dalene. Wow. Now here come the Sabres. It's Tage Thompson. Tage stops up. It's behind the Habs net. He's out there with Benson. Benson battling with Hudson. Benson comes up with it to Tage. Stopped by Dobish. Texier skates it to center and dumps it. 2:28 to go in the third. Owen Power to the offensive blue line. Malenstein's going to get to this before Gooley. Gooley kicks it to Dobson. Dobson gets it to Suzuki. Suzuki gains center. Tries to get it to Slav. Does. Slav 2-on-1. Loses the puck. Greenway. Is he going to win this race to it? He does. Hands it off. Bouncing puck. Sabres can't get it to settle down, but they hold the zone. Greenway gets it to Malenstein. Shot from Timmins is blocked. Suzuki clears it. Caulfield taken down. 1:50 to go in the third period here. Are we going to see overtime in Game 7? Quinn through the neutral zone. Hellenis. Quinn. Turned away by Matheson. Demidov off the glass and out. Evans gets it deep for himself. He's going to have to battle Samuelson, though. Hellenis gets it out. Down the ice for Matheson. 1:20 to go in the third. Carrier. Dumps it. 1:10 to go in the third. Evans battling for it, I think, as his line mates change. Doan hands it off. McLeod. Stolen by Hudson. Hudson slowing it down. Up the ice, and this is going to be icing against Montreal with 50.8 seconds to go in the third. Giggling Cat, if the Sabres steps have blue and gold lights. I don't know why they're blinking the one behind St. Louis, but that's it. 600 more likes, people. It's less than half of you now. Click like, click like, click like. Would you believe the hockey song just came on my mix? There you go. I want the Sabres to win, but this needs 7 OTs, says Nicholas. Sabres win that ozone draw and then lose the zone. Habs collect it. Dano says, get that garbage out of here. We only need to survive the next 40 seconds, but can they do it? Battle behind the Habs net for it. Habs do feel like they're playing OT, Drew. I agree. Texier lets it get over the blue line. Norris shovels it deep. Matheson gets it off Thompson. Oh, maybe not. The Habs do 100% feel like they're playing for OT. Texier. Habs fourth line. I mean, that should tell you everything, right? Or rather, it's Slav, I don't know what that line was. Mes amis, Game 7 is going to overtime. Steve Dangle here on the SDPN YouTube channel. Click like, click subscribe. Tell all your friends. Giggling Cat just dropped a 50 piece on our heads, gifting 50 SDPN gift memberships. If you are one of the lucky people in here who got gifted an SDP VIP membership by Giggling Cat, I need you to say thank you to Le Giggling Shah. Holy. Drew, I don't need a clip. Drew is going to go for a moment. Wow, Dan Patrick says Timmins OT winner. Yeah, I could see it. I could see it. I could see it. By the way, the Leafs traded Connor Timmins once upon a time. What was that? The Leafs acquired Connor Timmins for Curtis Douglas, straight up. It was Timmins and Connor Dewar to the Penguins for a 5th-round pick in 2025. The Leafs used that to select Will Bell, who in his first university season this past season had 34 games played, 1 goal, 3 assists. That's a forward. But he's 6'4", 218 pounds. Beef. Jacques Bisson sent 1 SDPN gift membership. Merci beaucoup, Jacques. You know who's really winning? The Canes. Hey! So do I take off my Habs jersey? No. Lego? I don't know what that means. My French isn't good enough for that. Fair for me to be nervous as a Canes fan? Yeah, your team's heading into the Final Four. You should feel blood pumping through your veins. Mark Gunn, Nyes plus the first overall pick for Bedard. Thoughts? Holy crap. No. No. Steve, who's going to lead on the line? Just Jimmy says, fun fact, every home Game 7 for the Sabres has gone to OT. Are you friggin' serious? Sabres are 1-1 in those games. Ironically, every game has ended 3-2. Who did they score against? Was it Ottawa that was, are you ready, Legion of Doom? Here come the Buffalo Sabres. I live in Montana. I don't know what it means either. Good. Steve Dangle here on the STPN YouTube channel. Click like, click subscribe, tell all your friends that this is what we watch hockey for. Game 7 overtime. And by the way, we have a winner of our giveaway from second intermission. Tonight's winner is Chris from Midhurst, Ontario. Shout out to Chris from Midhurst, Ontario. Game 7 OT from Sedin Magic. And when Sedin Magic types this, I have to say it this way. Let's go! Kevin BX is saying he's played in 1 Game 7 overtime, and the message at intermission was, who wants to be the hero? I mean, a Game 7 OT winner is iconic. It's immortalized. You're the fan base will literally never forget it, ever. Seriously, though, as a fan, looking forward to you watching Canes games in the Eastern Conference Final. Hey, me too. Who are they going to be playing? This series can't be good for your voice, Steve. It's not. No series is good for my voice. I have never come away from a playoff series and been like, this is good. This is good for my voice and general health. Bleu, blanc, et jaune. Vive les Sabres, says Goody New Shoes. I think you spelled it wrong. It's jeune, isn't it? Jaune is young, but I think you spelled that wrong also. I think you just spelled it wrong. Xhekaj and Metza have not had a shift in the third, says Monster Scrub. That's crazy. Jaune is yellow? Okay. Yellow in French. Oh, that is how you spell it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I knew it was June. Jaune. Jaune? I thought it was spelled different. Jem, welcome to SDP VIP. Madeline, guesses who takes the OT winner for each team. Give me Jack Quinn. And give me Ivan Demidov. Does Max Poopington, the Habs victory puppy, still poop in all over your house? He hasn't for a while, which means he's going to tonight. Whoever says Nyes plus first overall for Connor Timmins made me laugh enough to give another 5. Oh, there you go. Thank you. Montreal hasn't won the Stanley Cup since the Anaheim Ducks inaugural year. This is MCFVS. The dichotomy between Game 7 overtime and record time off for the Canes is crazy. Will rest be a weapon? I mean, we're about to find out, right? We're about to find out. If you are the kind of person who likes days off, who likes to chill, who in general would rather be relaxing than working, you should be cheering for the Hurricanes next round. Oh, baby. Mark Gunn, welcome to SDP VIP ad free. You will not regret it. Also, this, I don't know if you noticed this. This, people are wondering. My daughter. She's 2 and has razor blade fingernails. Oh, Steve, why don't you just trim her fingernails? Okay. Why don't you go on down to your local shelter and ask to give little nail trims to all the friggin' cats? We do trim her nails. It doesn't matter. They're still razor blades. Marcus says Leafs in 6 next year. What? Jacob Miller, if Buffalo wins, this will be the first time in the modern playoff format that all 4 division winners will be the final 4. Isn't that nuts? Trust I'm not even reading your username. Hey, Steve, Bruins fan here, but listening to you and the SDPN podcast is what got me into hockey. Genuinely happy for you guys. Number 1 pick and excited to listen to you guys talk about McKenna going forward. Thank you. Who we got? Chat, let me know who you got. Fun context that Rod Brindamore scored the game winner against Lindy Sabres in Game 7 in the Eastern Conference Final on their 06 Cup run on a puck over the glass penalty. Oh. Angela Bug, as someone with 3 cats and 1 small human, can confirm human claws are way worse. Who's it going to be? We don't know what happened. We're back. We don't know what happened. I almost exited my feed and then it came back. We don't know what happened. All right. Cool. Oh yeah, I should probably tweet. Overtime. Game friggin' 7, dude. Oh yeah, Drew goes, I can only imagine how stressed you'd be if this was the Leafs. Round 2, game 7, overtime. I gotta tell you, like I'm reading a book. I'm enjoying it, as you can tell, and I'm gonna lose my mind no matter what happens. By the way, anyone who's like, "Oh, Dangle's just openly cheering for the Habs," feel free to show me or show them my reaction to the Dalene tying goal. Listen, listen. I'm not going to put too much into it. There have been a lot of people who have been friggin' giant nerd crying babies about me streaming these games. And they all need to touch grass and get a life because I'm literally just having fun and thousands of people appear to be enjoying it every single stream. So, Denise Campbell, I've heard it both ways. Joan is how my bone disorder starts. What? Did Steve pee all over his ISP box? Yes, but that's not what created this problem. Who do you think Matthews will play with next season if he doesn't return? Anaheim. There. Does that help? Just Jimmy. Over under. How many tables get smashed in Buffalo if they win? Over under on how many billions of dollars of damage they will cause to the city if Buffalo if they lose. I don't think Sabres fans will do that. I don't think they'll do that. Canada born. This is how a white and blue team plays hockey. No, it isn't. They don't get this deep. Steve isn't rooting for either team. Steve is rooting for hockey. Click like 300 more times. And if you do, Giggling Cat is going to gift another 50 SDPN memberships. TMB Sports, I'm fine with you streaming it. I just refuse to cheer for the Habs because I know if it was us, they'd want us to lose. I'm not cheering for them. Most embarrassing moment of 2026 so far. What? I accidentally said dildo earlier tonight. I don't know. That was pretty embarrassing. And I got tricked into it. Steve Dangle here on the SCPN YouTube channel. Click like, click subscribe, tell all your friends. It's past my bedtime, Steve, but overtime. Hey. Hey. I got an off day tomorrow. And by off days, I usually just go, okay, these are my days where I do everything else. And I find my off days are usually a lot more busy. For example, Drew, we got to do junior hockey content, and I forgot to text Hayden about it. Can you text Hayden about it? It's past. Oh wait, sorry. KY to SP sent $10 and a bunch of cool sunglasses. Thank you. I appreciate it. Was it me losing my mind? Yes. Hudson has played 27 minutes. Matheson almost 26. Carrier well over 20. Dalene's at 28. What's that? Oh yeah, Jacki and Metza didn't. Yeah. This series being a blowout every game made game 7 a low scoring OT. Sounds about right. 100%. This is why we watch, baby. the Montreal Canadiens, the Buffalo Sabres. Overtime, Game 7, puck is dropped, and the Sabres win it back. Woke up sick. Need your sore throat concoction. Whatever it is, coconut oil. Matheson in the corner, in his own corner. Slafkovsky leads the breakout, accidentally puts it into the feet of Suzuki, and the Sabres come back the other way. A couple turnovers, wide open shot, stopped by Dobish. Benson had a chance to end the series right there. Slav, great reach, gets it away from Benson. Caulfield in the neutral zone will ring it around for Suzuki as Caulfield and Slav change. Demidov pokes it to Hudson. Hudson down low. Demidov! That's into the corner. Sabres get it out. Hudson is there into the neutral zone. They turn it back over to the Habs. McLeod wisely cuts off the pass for Hudson, forces him to absorb a check. Dobson with it. Battle along the half wall in front of the Habs bench. Sabres take it. Been loving these streams. Any thoughts on streaming this on Twitch too? That's a Jesse question. But I don't disagree. Or is it a Drew question? Or is it both of you question? I don't know. It's in the corner. Byram with it in his own end. Montreal never won a Game 7 on the road ever, says Dan Patrick. That can't be true. Quinn. There's my OT pick. Suzuki already back out there. Carrier. Suzuki centering Buluk and Doc. So Oliver Kapanen not getting a shift here. Who has more experience? Probably Montreal. Probably Montreal. Because like Caulfield and Suzuki were young, but they were... Oh, yeah, Habs are offside there. They were young, but they were part of that 2021 Cup final team. Was Matheson on that team? I think he was. No, I don't. Tuck didn't win a cup with Vegas. He was part of the Eichel trade. I made the same mistake on the pod recently. What are the odds this ends in if you're a goaltender 10 the goal? Alarmingly high given the two goalies. As a Canes fan, who do we match up better against? Really hard to pick. Really hard to pick. Maybe Montreal. It's hard. 2.5 minutes gone here. Matheson tries to center it, swatted away by Connor Timmins. Bodied away by Josh Anderson, but the Sabres get out of trouble. Sabres changing. Matheson. Dobson. Around. Oh, weird bounce in front of the Sabres net. Sabres found it. The stanchions have been lively in the series in both buildings, apparently. Suzuki plays it back. Hudson to Suzuki. Dumps it. Dalene. Now it's a battle. Gooley helps out. Caulfield. Down low for Slav. He's got Dalene all over him. Slav loses it. Benson. Here come the Sabres. They got speed. They got Norris. He falls down. Gooley fights to get it off him. Norris knocked him down, but he manages to get it to Lane Hudson. How nervous do you think they are on both teams? Very. Thank you, Steve, for live streaming the Habs games. Whoever wins, it's been fun, but let's go Habs, says Furby. Habs advance. They get it deep. This will be Newhook putting pressure. Frees up the puck. It's Evans. Evans to the point. It's Carrier. On! Deflected! There's a rebound! Evans in front! No one there. Carrier. Hard around. Demidov. Matheson. There's a broken stick. It's Alex Tuck's. Problem for Buffalo. Shot from Matheson is blocked by Tuck, who races to the Sabres bench. Here come the Habs. Evans. Funny bounce. New hook. That's wide. Oh, a race for it. That's going to be icing against the Buffalo Sabres to a rapturous, roaring boo from Buffalo Sabres fans in attendance. Steve Dangle here on the SDPN YouTube channel. Click like, click subscribe, tell all your friends. Clicking like is free. It takes a second, and it helps out the channel immensely. And Giggling Cat in the chat will gift another 50 SDPN memberships if you do. Draw on the Sabres end. The Sabres come up with it. It's Power rushing it out. He flips it into the neutral zone, batted down, and the Sabres stay onside. But they give up possession. Habs get out of their zone. It's Suzuki. He loses the puck. Quinn tries to get around Hudson. It doesn't work. He turns it over to Hellenis. Are the Sabres onside? We're about to find out. Hellenis back to the point. Shot from Timmins. Stopped. And kicked out of play by Jakub Dobish. 5 minutes and 9 seconds into overtime. Correction, Steve never won a Game 7 in overtime ever. That's true. I have not. Ugh. To stream games like this, you got to be a beverage goblin. You have to be. Face off in the Montreal Canadiens zone. It's Dano for Montreal. 12 for 22 tonight against Josh Norris, 15 for 22. Giggling Cat dropped another 50 piece on us, 50 SDPN memberships. Thank you, Giggling Cat. Dano wins that back. If you got gifted a membership from Giggling Cat, you make sure to say thank you. If you didn't, say thank you anyway. Norris leaves it for Tage Thompson. Takes a shot and his stick shatters. Oh boy, can the Habs take advantage of this? He gets a stick on the fly from the bench. Carrier, Anderson, shot! That goes wide, but not by a lot. Boy, Luukkonen left a lot of net there. Texier, Anderson! Oh, he missed. Wide side. Dobson, they said that hit the knob of his stick. Dobson, shot through traffic stop by Luukkonen. Texier, to the point. Matheson, as the Habs change. Sabres get out of it, and oh boy, they're going to have numbers here. It's a 2-on-1. It's Thompson. It's Benson. Thompson waits, holds. Dobish, where's the puck? Norris gets it to the point. Habs reeling Timmins. Oh, it's knocked out of play. Holy cow, how didn't the Sabres just end it? Tage has to shoot that. Anderson did not miss this by much. Did the lights just flash in my room? Or is that from the broadcast? That sure felt. Oh, it's my room. Why doesn't Tage shoot? Now, is Evans holding him? It's Game 7. No one cares, right? Ozone draw for Buffalo. McLeod and Evans on the face-off. Gasping hippos, says Giggling Cat. McLeod versus Evans in the Montreal Canadiens zone. McLeod wins it. McLeod has it. Gets it behind the net to Tuck. Whoa! Bounced in front of the Habs net, and they just yard sail it down the ice. Ma parole is right. Francois Labelle. Tuck through the neutral zone. Now would be a good time for your first point. Hudson has to deal with Tuck. McLeod. Suzuki can't clear it. Hard around, and it's Gooley who's going to be first on it. Can he get it out? He can get it out. Getting it out with possession is the struggle. Here come the Sabres again. Oh, McLeod, that just hops away from him. McLeod blocked by Gooley. And now it's Dalene. Dalene. His shot is blocked by Suzuki. Suzuki's going to try to get to this first. Luukkonen out of the net to play it. Hard around. Caulfield cannot get it off of Byram. Slavkovsky. Ugh. Jack Quinn. Jack Quinn has it swatted away from him, and Dobson gets it out. I thought I blinked, but no lights definitely flashed. Cool. You're not losing power, are you, bud? I might. Supposed to be thunderstorms tonight. I have never lost power during a stream before. Game 7 overtime would suck. Knock on wood. This desk is made of wood, so it's okay. Carrier in his own end. Matheson up the ice, but not out. Slaff. Dobish around for Carrier. Can he get it out? He does, but again, you're just repeating the process, right? You got to get out with possession. Evans gets it as the Habs re-rack. Buluk put himself onside. Oh, boy. Buluk behind the net. Samuelson gets it before Doc. Doc gets a piece of him, though. Down the ice. Is this going to be icing against Buffalo? It is, with 11:42 to go in the first overtime of this Game 7. Steve Dangle here on the SDPN YouTube channel. Click like, click subscribe, tell all your friends. KC, this series rules. I don't disagree. I think this might already be our most streamed game of these playoffs. I'm not sure. It's definitely up there. Greenway flips it out. I think this might be icing again. Yep, that wasn't great. 11:34 to go in overtime. Steve Dangle on the SDPN YouTube channel. Click like, click subscribe, tell all your friends. I might have to invest in a UPS there, Steve. What? Do you mean a lightning stick? Keep the Steve train going. Let's go Habs, says BK. If the Habs lose, forget watching the rest of the playoffs, Canada. No Canadians equals no Stanley Cup, or equals Stanley Cup boycott. I will not be doing that. Hudson. Shot. That goes wide. Anderson, it's bobbing around. Texier. I think he's been excellent this game. Fighting for it. Connor Timmins puts it into the feet of Samuelson. Now Anderson battling him. All this happening in the corner. 11:11 to go in a first overtime. Make a wish. Lane Hudson. Anderson. Texier. Anderson in front. No one can get to that. Dano almost did. He already has a goal in this Game 7. Is this going to be another icing against Buffalo? They say no. Hudson dogged it. Sabres look calmer, but Habs look less tired. Well, not there. They didn't. Canadian here watching to see Montreal lose, I hope, says Dan Patrick. Habs to the neutral zone. They dump it. That was Slaff. Byram versus Suzuki. Slaff! Shot! Carrier thought about going for it, but he doesn't. He has to defend a 3-on-2. Here's Norris, Thompson, and Benson. Thompson! Shot that goes well wide off a deflection. Caulfield has it in the neutral zone, and he'll dump it. Uninterrupted power supply. Oh, I didn't know that. That's what UPS means. Benson trying to get around Carrier. He gets away from him. Can't get the puck through. Carrier shovels it out into the neutral zone. Here comes Montreal, 3 wide. Demidov stops up, looking for help. Him and Dobson switch. Newhook has it behind the Sabres net. Newhook gets it to Evans. No one in front, though. Evans! There's someone in front. It's Demidov! And he misses. Newhook battling Dalene. Sabres flip it out. This is what I was talking about. The Habs need more of this. Dobson, he's stripped. And now the Sabres might have something going here. It's Josh Doan battling Matheson. It's in front. Stopped by Dobish, swatted away. But right back into the possession of Doan. Matheson gets it off him. Matheson gets it out into the neutral zone. They get it deep. Power. That's Quinn. That's Hellenis. That's out into the neutral zone. Hellenis swats it back to the Habs. Is this going to be icing against Montreal? It is, with 9:08 to go in the first overtime. Denise says, hope you aren't getting the weather we had earlier. It's a bad one. Stay safe down there in the GTA. I don't know. My phone says no, so I don't know what that was. Steve Dangle here on the SDPN YouTube channel. Click like, click subscribe, tell your friends. Over 7,000 strong here in the chat. Please click like. It helps us out. Anderson hit the post there. Steven, this game feels so leafy. Buffalo deserves the win, but it feels like the Habs will get a dirty one. My 11-11 wish is I could go to bed. Thanks, Steve. You're welcome. Are we getting a scrape here? Is that what the delay is? Yeah, they're scraping the ice. Well, in that case, let me refresh both my feeds here. Ice time. Dalene leads the way with 32 minutes, 41 seconds. Hudson is at 31-17. Wow. Shots 35-24 for Buffalo. Smash that like button, guys. There's so many of us. This is KY. Never mind. They changed it to 36-24 for Buffalo. I watched that change in real time. Saw the number rollover and everything. So I believe this is going to be the Dano line out there for the Habs. Who's this for the Sabres? Josh Norris. These two have been going at it all night. Robert Briand sent 10 SDPN memberships. Merci beaucoup. If you got gifted a membership, make sure to say thank you. Josh Norris versus Philip Dano in the Montreal Canadiens end. Sabres come up with it. Dalene on into the glove of Dobish, so we do it again. Steve Dangle here on the SDPN YouTube channel. Click like, click subscribe, tell your friends. Game 7, overtime, Montreal, Buffalo. This is the good stuff. This is the good stuff. Jake Evans is going to take the draw against Josh Norris. I did ask for double OT. You're right. I can do it. I can do it tonight. Battle in the corner for it. Thompson, shot! Stopped by Dobish. 8:52 to go in the first overtime. I've said this before. I'll say it again. This train conductor hat is extremely itchy. The longer you wear it, the itchier it becomes. Shot attempts are 90-58 in favor of the Sabres. Shots this overtime are 6-2. So saith the broadcast. Norris gets it back to Dalene. The Habs are going to get out of it here. Carrier, cross ice. Finds Newhook. Shot, scores! He does it again! Alex Newhook with his second series winner of the playoffs. His second Game 7 winner of the playoffs. And the Montreal Canadiens are moving on to the Final Four as they defeat the Buffalo Sabres in Buffalo. Ma parole, the Montreal Canadiens are off to the Eastern Conference Final, where the Carolina Hurricanes anxiously wait for them. Luukkonen just threw his mask down the hall. Oh, baby. Francois Labelle just gifted 10 SDPN memberships. Montreal wins it. Hockey is the best. Wow. Dan Patrick says no. How does that go in? Oh, man, underneath the glove. Was it just a change-up? Ridick says, choo-choo. Did it go off a stick? The blade of the defenseman. Madnoid sent 5 SDPN memberships. Fun fact, the last time the Habs eliminated Buffalo in the second round, it was 1993. Holy crap. What a shot. What a game. The Newfie bullet. Thank you, Steve. Here's a blessed toonie. Let's go. Merci beaucoup. Poetry still in motion. I don't know what it is about today, but I have never spit on the microphone more than I have today. I don't know how much of it showed up on camera. Francois Labelle, now I can never take that jersey off. Brother, you should sleep in it tonight. No hockey executive could have seen this coming. None of them. Who has the fitter head coach going into the Habs Canes matchup? Yo, that's actually crazy. My premier, Alex Newhook. Dan Patrick says knuckle puck as we get handshakes here in Buffalo. Yelling in a pillow so my kids don't wake up. And the fans are cheering them off the ice. Let's go, Buffalo. They deserve it. What a season. What a season for the Buffalo Sabres. They were dead. They were the Sabres. They were the same old Sabres. And then they go on an absurd winning streak. They basically don't lose for the back 3/4 of the season. They charge to the playoffs. They make it to the second round, all the way to Game 7 overtime. They were down 2-0 in this game. They forced overtime. They had chances to win it. And if this season was any indication, they will be back. Habs now 13-0 with multi-goal leads in Game 7. Unbelievable. Alex Newhook, we have to beat the Canes now. We need a Habs versus Avs final. We need Carey Price in the building for Game 3 with the torch. Glad the Habs won, but I think it's safe to say the Sabres are back. Next season should be interesting. I think producer Drew can back me up on this. No one circles the wagons of postseason heartbreak like Buffalo sports. Kelly, I can't imagine the Canes were waiting anxiously for either team this series. $8 for every Habs win this postseason. Do you hear the train a coming? By the way, Sean McDonough is the most biased announcer. I feel for Buffalo. I'm not familiar. Madnoid, the tears, the sweet taste of tears. Sports Talk Chud, heartbreaking ending, but they'll 100% be back. JF Blanchard, the cardiac Habs. Dude, they won the division. Nobody would have called that. It's insane. Jacques Bisson sent 1 SDPN membership. Merci beaucoup, Jacques. Dalene, best player in the series. Boy, you have an argument. Habs steal 2 series after being figured out over 7. Tight series. Game 7 overtime doesn't get much tighter than that, eh? Over 35 saves in back-to-back Game 7s for Jakub Dobiš. Rough 0-5 in Game 7. SLS, really hope this isn't a one-year wonder for Buffalo. I would be shocked. Montreal wins. I woke up my neighbors and my dad called me right away. This is Power Pat. When does the Eastern Conference Final start? Thursday? See you Thursday. Habs go 16-15 to win the cup. They might. Canada in the Final Four, baby, says Giggling Cat. Napo says, choo, choo. Dobiš was like, I could keep going. Sabres deserve this one big time. As a Red Wings fan, I was 100% going for the underdogs. I have a feeling Buffalo will be back next year. The Habs lost during my wedding, but I got to see them win tonight. Hey, there you go. Crew Kid says, ole, 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 ole. Also, how about Buffalo with their season? Lindy Ruff should be unanimous Jack Adams winner. Sedin Magic, I have to say, Game 7 OT is so much more enjoyable when you don't have a team in it. Yes. What a showing from all those guys having their first playoff games for Buffalo. Real grit right there. I agree, and they should feel good about it. Boy, they're not going to feel good about their home record. Unlike other Canadian teams you've streamed, the Habs actually won the game instead of blowing a multi-goal lead. Thanks. Third time in NHL history for a team 14 games played to face an 8 games played team for the conference final. Third time ever is crazy. The stronger choo-choo survive, the other one collapse. Does Buffalo finish ahead of the Leafs next season? Yeah, probably. What's your prediction for Eastern Conference Final? How many games? I think it goes at least 6. Martin Brunette, thanks for the stream. Going outside for a moment to hear car horns in the city. That's so cool. Rebuilds are easy, only take a few years, right? Not sure why it makes me laugh, but Thompson towering over Caulfield in the handshake line makes me chuckle. This Oilers fan says, go Habs. Montreal kicks Buffalo off the choo-choo train. The stat might be wrong. I GPT'd it. Oh, well, in that case. Patrick Waugh incoming, Avs versus Habs. By the way, I'm going to be forced to call them the Avalanche because Avs versus Habs is a nightmare. I got to take the hat off. I'm taking the hat off. It's so itchy, dude. 9th road game 7 win. First road. What? 9th road game 7. First road game 7 win in OT. Thanks again, Steve. Whoa, thank you, Adrena. Amazing job as per usual. Go Habs, go. People are overrating the sweeps. Beating the Lightning and Sabres is way more impressive than beating the Pens and Flyers. I do agree with that. I mean, the Hurricanes earned their path, though, during the regular season. They got what they deserved. But yeah, like the Habs have had a crazy path. The fact they got through both Tampa and Buffalo while arguably getting outplayed is crazy. Eastern Conference Final, I can't decide until I see how the Canes handle a loss. But Habs versus Avs, yes, please. Habs versus Marner Knights, yes, please. Please, no. Merkel John, I think you mean Habs versus Nordiques. How did Luukkonen let that one go in, and why does it feel like Tage is only ever using 60% of his power level? Love you, Steve. I think it was a weird deflection off a stick for Luukkonen. Tage could have ended that a couple times. He was awful in game 5, unstoppable force of nature in game 6, and he had an okay game 7. It really felt like he could have done better. How many red and white teams do we have to play from a Canes fan? Hey, they're blue, blanc, et rouge. Arnaud Deschamps, new hook for Conn Smythe. Yo, what is that? His 7th goal? Alex Newhook, 13 goals in 42 games in the regular season. He has 7 goals in 14 games in these playoffs. 9 points. 16 penalty minutes? When did that happen? Newhook has 16 penalty minutes? The pride of Newfoundland. I got to turn the broadcast off. What a game. What a friggin' game. He better be the clutch Canadian on Friday. Yeah. Kirk, go Habs go from a Leafs fan out of my attic room. When I watch the games on TV, Habs lose. When I watch this stream, Habs win. Maybe I should follow the rest of the Stanley Cup playoffs via stream. I'm not going to stop you. Don't know how I survived 2 more playoff rounds. Yeah, dude, you got like a month left, eh? Or like 3 weeks. Carolina has not won a playoff game against a non-swing state team since May 26, 2025. What does that mean? Even I'm not online enough to know what that means. Oh, Florida against a non-swing state team. I don't know. Yeah. How much of a party is St. Catherine Street going to be in Montreal tonight? Asked producer Drew. No one's going to bed. No one's going to work tomorrow. It's already a long weekend in this country. It's going to be a long weekend for a lot of people. A lot of people are going to be like, no, Victoria Day is Tuesday. A lot of people in Quebec are going to be celebrating the British monarchy tonight. KC, new mythical player unlocked. Game 7 Dobish. Yo. He's unbelievable. Swing state equals U.S. state, which flips between party. Oh, I know what you mean. But it's difficult keeping up with the game and the chat. I just want you all to appreciate how impressive I am. I'm so impressive. Sorry. Matthew. I said dildo earlier tonight. Matthew says, Steve, I'm as sweaty as you were in the Panthers Leaf series, and my heart rate was at 525 beats per minute. I'm not sweaty right now. I'm just greasy. There's a difference. F1 and Habs next weekend. Ooh, that sounds like a fun time. I appreciate your impressiveness. You should. I'm wearing a shirt with my face on it. Inferior Brutes. Go Habs. Congrats on a great Game 7 series to move to the conference final. This was a big swing in the right direction. Also, hi, Steve. Hi. Stove Dingle here on the STPN YouTube channel. Click like, click subscribe, tell all your friends. You're never unimpressive, I know. It's Journée de Patriote here in Quebec. Oh, is it a different holiday in Quebec? No. Is it? I'm upset that I just learned that. I'm too old to be just learning that. Push it for a couple minutes. Daniel D. My employer wants me in by 8 a.m. tomorrow morning. I am being placed inside a baguette in pain. Ha ha ha. Also, maybe SDP All World Cup kit review. We might. Ahoskova gave all my employees paid day off tomorrow because I know they won't be there. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. That rules. That rules. Meanwhile, I'm making Drew bust his ass on Victoria Day Monday. On his wife's birthday. Maddie was in today to help us record. How does it feel to see the Habs already outperform the last decade of Leafs hockey? So, not good, but also the Montreal Canadiens, and in fact, 31 teams exist outside of the context of the Toronto Maple Leafs. Steve Dangle, noted enemy of the proletariat. How dare you? That's a big word. When is the Stove Dingle merch dropping in the STPN shop? You know what? I was actually just thinking that during the stream. We should make this happen. Oliver, the team who had the easiest route to the Eastern Conference Final is against the team that had the hardest. Hey, man, you can say it in both conferences, right? Utah and Anaheim. Well, no, the Avs played LA. And that's crazy. I hear fireworks outside. So do I. My dog hates it. What a great game for rookie Dobish. Love hearing him say he can do 40 more games. I hate that he's a rookie, but he's unreal. Canes fan here again. Habs in 6, not trolling. Stop it. Matthew. Steve, can you please explain to me the bit on the podcast where you put the devil horns on your head and go blah, 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 blah. So this is like the evil Toronto media, and this is just me being a scary devil monster. Blah, 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 blah. That's all I'm doing. It's not that deep. It's just me being a turd. The real J-Boss. I'm in Red Deer and also hear fireworks. Those are loud fireworks. Oh, you mean the fireworks are in Red Deer? I got it. Okay. It's always about the Leafs, Steve. You know that. I do. There's still 4,000 people here. Yo. Are you not like completely exhausted? Yeah, Drew is completely exhausted. You know what? No, I never met him. That's what my dad would say. You know what? I think we got to wrap it. Knights Avs to give Steve as much pain as possible. I think you meant Knights Habs. You screwed it up. Shut up. You stink. And you're a butt. And you have a butt that stinks. Buffalo got robbed. Yeah, by Dobish. Would you trade the first overall pick for a playoff run to the conference final for the Leafs? Yes. Because if they were good enough to go to the conference final, they wouldn't need it. Do you think any Habs fan is going, wish we had the first overall pick right now? Do you think anyone who's like climbing up a lamppost right now is going, you know, this would be a lot better with Gavin McKenna? Hudson, Caulfield, and Newhook, or Kaprizov plus Sturm. What are you doing? What are you doing? I am envious of Montreal's cap situation. Oh my God, I know. Rust says Montreal wins game 1. Also, all the strippers in Montreal are going on strike. Wait, is that a thing? Savannah Henson, my prof does not know. What? My prof not know paper is being done after game. It's okay. The YouTube chat goblins got you. I struggle with them also. The YouTube chat does things. 2 words. Okay. We're going to wrap it. We're friggin' wrapping it. My friends. What a season for the Buffalo Sabres. But the season for Le Canadien de Montréal rolls on. That is it for this stream. Thank you very much for watching. Click like if you liked this stream. Click subscribe if you really liked it. Tell all your friends. The Eastern Conference Final begins Thursday, and I will be there right here on this channel.